single goal this season. We'll start things off with the number 17, the 20-year-old from Lake Orion, Michigan, Landon Graham, another graduate of the Metro Jets Elite program. He's got a goal so far this season. Also with a goal, another graduate of the Metro Jets Elite program. Where's number 62 for MJDP? The 17-year-old from New Baltimore, Michigan, Ronnie Lubers. Lubers scored his first career goal on Wednesday in MJDP's last game, a 5-3 loss at the hands of the Fort Wayne Spacemen. Also in that three-way tie, where's number 11 for MJDP? The 18-year-old from Miami, Florida, Lucas Benavides. Benavides, who played in the LATAM Cup in August down in his native Miami, the Florida Panthers practice rink. Benavides scored his first goal as a member of MJDP as well. A lot of young players, a lot of graduates from the Metro Jets Elite program on this MJDP squad.
Absolutely. That's kind of the nice thing about having the Elite program to graduate to the development program is that you're in the system. You know the coaches already. You know the program. You know how things are going to go in practice. Because there's a lot of uncertainty for young players when you come to a different organization. Having the players in your own backyard practicing against the other players is a great way to really just develop them into the program and make them more comfortable as they continue to climb the ranks.
And answering the calling goal this afternoon for MJDP, where's number 31, another graduate of the Metro Jets Elite program, the 19-year-old from Romeo, Michigan. It's Cyrus the Virus, Cameron Cyrus. And he has been impressive. A 190 goals against average, a 962 save percentage for Cyrus, who played half of the game against the Metro Jets, stopped every shot he faced, and he'll see the FreshCoast Freeze for the first time in his career.
Yeah, I mean, you look at his stats, it's really tough to pin any of the losses on him. When you can have goaltending like that, you give yourself an opportunity on most nights, as the development program has done so far. Look for Cyrus, again, to give his team a chance. You know, the way he's playing, eventually one of these games is going to go in the favor of the Metro Jets development program, especially when you get a goalie playing as well as he is.
And Cameron Cyrus will face the team to our left, who play their home games at the Griff's Ice House West in Holland, Michigan, located southwest of the beautiful city of Grand Rapids on the west side of Pierre, Michigan. It is the FreshCoast Freeze, and leading the way for the Freeze, wears number 13, the 19-year-old from Rockwood, Michigan, Logan Eshelman. Eshelman, 5 games so far, 3 goals, 3 assists, 6 points on the season. Eshelman, a great addition to the FreshCoast Freeze.
Absolutely. He's been off to a great start. One of 3 players that we have coined the Coneheads, all from the same area, Eshelman, Huntoon, and Seski. Eshelman's been a breath of fresh air. His work ethic, he's not the biggest dude on the ice, but he'll go to the dirty areas and he'll work hard to get the puck back along the corners. He has played 1 game with his line mates so far that he'll have tonight, Braden Kelly and Trace Beckwith and Braden Kelly, as I mixed that up. He's played 1 game with them. It was against Toledo, and that line had themselves a pretty good night in a, offensive night in the offensive zone in a game that not a lot of lines can get things going in the offensive end. That's going to be a huge trio for the Freeze. They want to come away with some points in this one.
Speaking of his line mates, he's also tied with his line mates for the team lead in points-wise in scoring. Led off by the number 12 for the Freeze, the 18-year-old from West Bloomfield, Michigan, Braden Kelly. 2 goals, 4 assists, 6 points so far for Mr. Kelly.
Yeah, Braden Kelly has just climbed up the lineup the entire season. He started down in the bottom 9, but his continuous play has been incredible. The Freeze really like the way he plays the game. Defensively, he's very sound in his own end, but another guy that's not huge, but man, he loves to go to the dirty areas. He scored that goal against the Bearcats that ended up putting the Freeze up with 16 seconds left to go by crashing the net. That's the way he finds the net. Very unafraid to go to the dirty areas, including the blue paint.
And the third guy on that top line for the Freeze wears number 3 for Fresh Coast, the 18-year-old from Indianapolis, Indiana, Trace Beckwith. 2 goals, 4 assists, 6 points, coming to the Freeze from the Potent Culver Military Academy's
Beckwith has used his size, I think, very well this year. It's something that a lot of bigger players struggle with, is how do you use that giant frame at 6'3" to be able to protect the puck, and Beckwith has done that really well this year. Also, you get him in open ice. He has really good hands that you don't expect from bigger players. Trace Beckwith, once he puts it all together, that size, that skill, I think he's going to be a fantastic player for the Fresh Coast Freeze.
Fourth on the team in scoring is one of the returnees to the Freeze. Where's number 21? The 20-year-old from DeWitt, Michigan, outside of Lansing, Sean Stevens. Stevens, the former Palm Beach Typhoon, former Capital City Capital. Where's number 21 for the Freeze? 2 goals, 3 assists, 5 points on the season. He's over halfway towards his overall point total from last season.
Yeah, Sean came to us last year at the end of the season after his former team had folded. And, you know, it was hard to get 3 words out of him, just kind of a quiet guy. But this year he's really coming out of his shell, not only in person but on the ice as well. And he's one of the players that I think has truly impressed me with just kind of his quiet leadership and his ability. He has wheels for days. He is a very fast player, someone that the Fresh Coast Freeze are going to try to spring on full ice passes. If he can use his speed, Sean Stevens becomes a very, very effective player for this Fresh Coast team.
Tied for 5th on the team in scoring is another returning to the Fresh Coast Freeze. Where's number 20? The former Columbus Maverick, 19-year-old from Fishers, Indiana. That is Ryan Murphy. Murphy with a goal and 3 assists for 4 points in the season since coming over from the Mavericks. He's found himself a home here with the Fresh Coast Freeze.
Absolutely. Ryan Murphy, fun fact about him, has the game-winning goal in the first ever home victory for the Fresh Coast Freeze last year against Battle Creek. And that goal, I talk about it a lot because it's kind of the way Ryan Murphy gets it done. He finds a spot on the ice, gets ready into a shooting position, and boy, when he gets the puck on his stick and he wants to release it, he's got a quick release that I think oftentimes beats goalies before they can get set, as Murphy has continued to get better. And he's one of the players that I think the Freeze can really hang their hat on of like, hey, come over here, we'll develop you, we'll get better. And as individual players get better, I think this team's going to continue to get better. As we talked about quite a bit, you know, Freeze haven't had the start to their franchise they want. This is a big game for him. I think Ryan Murphy can be a big player in this game.
Murphy is tied with a gentleman that wears number 23 for the Freeze, the 19-year-old from Rockwood, Michigan. Big boy, 6'3", 225-pounder, Charlie Huntoon. Huntoon, a goal and 3 assists, 4 points in the season. As we mentioned, big body.
Right, Huntoon is a massive kid. I mean, I see him every day. I actually live with 4 of the players on the Fresh Coast roster, being the 3 Coneheads, obviously Huntoon being one of them. And just kind of watching him walk around, and you kind of see the way his body's starting to fill out after training camp. You know, as he gets bigger, gets stronger, starts to go to the dirty areas, Huntoon's another player that there's a lot of players on this team, I think, with a lot of potential. They just have to reach that potential. They haven't got there yet, but it's something as the season goes along that I think Huntoon's especially a player that will continue to get bigger, stronger, and just better.
And entering the call-in goal, making his Fresh Coast Freeze debut, wears number 1 for the Freeze, the former Battle Creek Colonel, started the year with the Thunder Hockey Club in the NCDC. The 18-year-old from Mattawan, Michigan, the number 1, Colin Porn, gets the call for the Fresh Coast Freeze. And Aaron in 2 games for the Thunder NCDC program, a 250 goals against average, a 912 save percentage. Something I want to talk about, though, with the Colonels last year, a 2-0 goals against average, a 941 save percentage for Porn.
Right, very talented kid, and we are excited as albeit to have him here on the Fresh Coast roster. Just the size stood out to me. Seeing him for the first time today, I stood next to him, big mistake. I'm not a very tall guy. He's a very tall guy. I had to crank my neck a little bit to look up, to look him in the eyes, and it's something that's exciting. You get a big player with this talent, this ability. Man, there's some nights last year where the Freeze felt like they could have stayed in games if they got better net minding. They've got some pretty solid goaltending so far this year in the form of Jacob Van Zweden, Matthew Brinkman, who is injured, as well as Cameron Marinakis, who is backing up tonight. So for Porn, if he can really settle the crease in, give the Freeze a really good 1-2 punch, that gives them a better chance on weekends to go back-to-back, have abilities to get points in both games, where last year it felt like a lot of times the starting netminder in Game 1 would play really well. Game 2, the second netminder would have a bad start, and now suddenly the kid that faced 70 shots the night before is back in net. So for the Freeze, if Porn can really solidify the net, I think it's a good get for the Freeze going forward. Possibly allows them to push to become a better team. I really like the addition of Colin Porn.
With that being said, you've been watching and listening to the Vital Title Insurance Agency pregame show based in Farmington Hills, Michigan. With locations throughout Michigan and Florida, Vital Title is your real estate insurance leaders, led by Jamie Naiman. With over 30 years of experience, your property transaction office is secure, knowing your real estate transactions have been executed with expert attention to every detail. Learn more at VitalTitleAmerica.com or call 248-388-9376. Coming up next, Tim Hortons Cafe and Bake Shop pregame interview. Aaron, stick around. You're the interview.
Woo!
Locations throughout the Metro Detroit area, including one less than a mile down the road from us here at MCIA. Get your morning started right for a quick pick-me-up during the day. That's Tim Hortons Cafe and Bake Shop. We've been hearing his voice throughout the course of the Vital Title pregame show. Let's talk to the man, Aaron Poling, voice of the Fresh Coast Freeze. And first of all, Aaron, thank you so much in advance for tomorrow.
Of course.
I have a motorsports obligation tomorrow in Winchester, Indiana, so you're going to be the play-by-play voice tomorrow for your Fresh Coast Freeze who take on the Metro Jets, who just skated away to an 8-2 victory. Well, let's talk about you, my man. Let's talk about your broadcasting career. From second year now with the Fresh Coast Freeze, prior to coming to Fresh Coast, what was your background?
So I kind of got out to a late start in broadcasting. Some people know I was active duty military from 18 to 22.
Thank you for your service.
So I finished the military, went to Grand Valley, which I'm actually still a student there, using up my GI Bill benefits. And I didn't really know what I wanted. I had a conversation with a sergeant of mine. His name is John Diggs. He was chasing his dream to become a country music star. He convinced me to chase my dream to become a broadcaster, and I'm so glad he did because, man, this is the most fun job that you can ever think of. After I graduated, I moved out to Evanston, Wyoming. I was the play-by-play voice for the Rich Rebels in Utah. I get a lot of flack from my family because it's like you moved to Wyoming to call a school in Utah. It really sounds like you're doing nothing. But no, so the Rich Rebels, they have a special place in my heart, a great community. I keep track of their games. I text their coaches, Lex Cornea, Cooper Cornea, and then, of course, all the coaches out there. They're still very good friends of mine. It was sad to go, but this is kind of my calling. Hockey's my favorite sport, and I got an opportunity to broadcast hockey an hour away from where I grew up. I get to see my family all the time. My youngest brother, who's now turning 10, gets to come watch these games and gets to come share the game that I love. And it was just kind of one of those things where, funny story about being hired, I was kind of scrolling through the job list, and I saw Fresh Coast Freeze. What kind of a weird name is that? And then I look, it's in Holland, Michigan, and it's like, it's a weird name I'm going to apply to. So, and the next day, Jake called me, said he loved my stuff, and it was not a hard decision. The only real problem was how was I going to do it financially, but that's been figured out, and, man, I'm happy to be here. The easiest yes in the world is when someone asks me to broadcast an extra game, just because it's so much fun, and, I'm going to be here anyways, so might as well have a little more fun with it.
Well, you definitely earned your stripes, and again, I certainly appreciate you filling in for me tomorrow. Also, as you know, you've already got the invite. You know you're going to be here for the USPHL Detroit Showcase, November 21st, 24th. Got my first look at the schedule yesterday.
Woo.
Still some tweaking to do, but looking ahead to that a little bit, the Fresh Coast Freeze have an interesting game.
Oh yeah,
right off the get with the Charlotte Rush.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna do this, you might as well play really good teams, right? And those are the games I love. Those are the games I love. Games like this where you're playing good teams. These are the games where the Fresh Coast Freeze get better. They haven't gone our way. Let's be honest. 5-6 wins as an organization. Games like this haven't gone our way. But the measure of when we become a very good team, I think, in this league is when we can start to compete with Metro on a nightly basis. Last year, it sounds kind of funny. We lost 8-1 to Metro in our final home game of the year. But that was so much progress from the first game we played against Metro at home, where they beat us 16-0. And that's 8 goals difference. That's a big jump for the Fresh Coast Freeze. And I think when the Freeze are going to be finally in the area where they want to be is when we stop talking about, wow, what a great effort against that, to where it's like, dang, it's the third period. We're down 3-2. We can pull the goalie with an opportunity to tie this thing. That's where the Freeze want to get to. It's a progress. It's definitely not going to happen overnight. But as the Freeze continue with their progression, that's something that they're looking forward to, is to be in games like this. They call it hockey scores. We want hockey scores out of games like this, not necessarily a college football score.
Now, I mentioned about tomorrow having a motorsports obligation. One of your players on your team, Matthew Elsey Jr., is one of the most accomplished stock car drivers in the country.
Right.
And he's still junior hockey eligible.
Yep.
He's one of the original Fresh Coast Freeze playing his second game. I wonder, we probably should ask Matthew this, but maybe you can help him out a little bit. The difference, I know the differences on my end. From motorsports broadcasting to hockey broadcasting, I wonder out loud, and maybe you can answer for him, the differences from racing a stock car to putting on the skate blades, putting on the equipment, and playing hockey.
And you can see it in Elsie's game that he is a race car driver. He's fearless.
Yeah.
Fun story to get into. Last couple weeks ago when we were in Battle Creek, actually, Elsie got into a fight, then had a race that night. So I was giving him a little grief, like, did you get into a fight so you could go race? But no, it was just kind of something that happened, and it worked out for him. He ended up finishing second in that race, which, you know, how many people in the world have been in a junior hockey fight then finished second in the same night?
Right.
That's an incredible accomplishment for Elsie. And, you know, I can't speak for him, but I got to imagine that fearlessness that helps him. But, you know, difference, obviously, you're not in a car. I mean, I don't think I need to tell anyone that. But just the way that he skates, and he skates into the corners, you could tell that, like, it's the same way that he would go into a corner in a race.
Yeah.
So I think Elsie's the kind of guy that would rather crash out and not finish than take second place. He seems like he's trying to go all out to win, and that's something the Frees love about him. He's one of the 4 original members of the Fresh Coast Frees still on this team, and there's a reason for it. It's because they love the kid. They love the hockey player. They love his grit. It's just something that he didn't play hockey for a couple of years, and, you know, it's taken a little bit to catch up in the skill, but his fearlessness and attitude is something that this Frees team needs.
Last question for you. First ever meeting between the Fresh Coast Frees and the Metro Jets Development Program, MJDP. And you guys experienced that a lot last year, first ever meetings
Right.
and such. But this isn't the senior Metro Jets. This is the Metro Jets Development Program. What do the Fresh Coast Frees have to do to get that second win of the season and avoid MJDP getting that first W?
So one thing they did very well in the opening, I would say about 30 minutes against Toledo in the Saturday game last weekend, where the coaches praised their effort, is they took time and space away in the neutral zone. You see Metro, you see the top team play, and they love to speed it through the neutral zone, which I'm going to imagine is probably the same throughout all 3 organizations, because you wouldn't teach someone something different and expect them to come to the top team. So I think they got to take away time in the neutral zone, and I think they got to get rid of the development program name when they're looking out on the ice. It's still the same jersey. It's still the same program. They're going to play the way that, you know, Metro plays. Just because it's a development program, we are in no situation to take teams lightly just because they're a development team for a better team. That's not what the Frees can do. They're just not simply good enough to do that. So I think they got to take away development program and take away time and space in the middle of the ice. And I think if they can do that, it's going to be a pretty competitive game against these 2 teams.
Aaron, stick around. We're going to have you do some little color for us here later on tonight. Get your prep for tomorrow.
Sounds good. Appreciate it.
We're going to take a short break. That was your Tim Hortons Cafe and Bake Shop pregame interview. Very, very short break, not even a minute. We're going to step aside, come back for pregame ceremonies, opening drop of the puck, game number 2 of our Friday doubleheader. You're watching Metro Jets Hockey live exclusively on Black Bear TV. And welcome back to Mount Clemens Ice Arena. We're located approximately 30 minutes northeast of Motown, Detroit, in Mount Clemens, Michigan. Game 2 of our Friday doubleheader here from MCIA. This matchup features the Metro Jets Development Program, MJDP, who will face off against the Fresh Coast Frees. My name is Matt Preer, the voice of the Metro Jets Hockey Club up high on the flight deck, alongside Black Bear TV broadcast producer and color analyst Matt Naiman. Tyler Naiman providing the visual effects on the camera. And we will reacquaint with Mount Clemens Figure Skating Club on-ice reporter Sarah Vassar a little bit later on today. A member of United States Figure Skating, USFS. Whether you're focused on figure skating as individual, competition testing, or recreational, MCFSC is for you. All these opportunities, as well as becoming a part of the spirited family of figure skating, are available to you when you become a member. As Sarah Vassar will be talking to the players, make an impact in today's first ever matchup between MJDP and the Fresh Coast Frees. Let's get the Golden Greek scratches for the game, before and after the game, located right across the street from MCIA, the official restaurant, the Metro Jets Hockey Club. Scratches first for the Fresh Coast Frees. Scratch number 10 of Grayson DeBrun. Scratch number 16 of Jesse Eggleston. Scratch number 7 of Ryder Steele. Scratch number 22 of Austin Helder. Scratch number 29 of Matt Brinkman. And scratch number 30 of Jacob Van Sweden. For MJDP, scratch number 1 of Cooper Langley, scratch number 24 of Connor Wheeler, add number 53 of John Legibokov. Coming up here in just a couple minutes, Metro Junior Jets Hockey Organization starting lineups. The Metro Junior Jets, Mount Clemens Hockey Club offer Little Jets Learn to Skate program, house and travel hockey programs for girls and boys. The Junior Jets are also the only organization in Michigan to field a parent Junior A hockey program. Matter of fact, there's 3 of them here at MCIA. A true development ladder of some of the most experienced coaches in Metro Detroit. It is the Metro Junior Jets Hockey Organization. And speaking of that third team, the Metro Jets Elite will finally get their first home game of the season. Finally, their home opener coming up. And that is going to be on Wednesday, October 15th, right here at Mount Clemens Ice Arena. The Metro Jets Elite facing off against the Fort Wayne Spacemen Elite. Vital Title Insurance Agency pregame show at 11:45 a.m. Face off at 12:15. The Metro Jets Elite 1-1 so far. Both games at PSM Ice House in Fort Wayne, Indiana. A 2-0 victory on September 27th, followed by a 4-3 setback this past Wednesday. So the Metro Jets Elite will finally get their 2025 home opener on Wednesday. And they'll play Fort Wayne, the third of 4 straight games for the Jets Elite to start the season off against the Fort Wayne Spacemen before they head, ironically enough, to Fort Wayne, Indiana for the USPHL Fort Wayne Showcase on October 30th through November 2nd. And I'll tell you, Aaron, the Metro Jets Elite, they're going to be so sick of Fort Wayne. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, that's one thing. You play 2 games in a row, and it seems like teams get sick of each other. You're going to play 4 in a row.
4 in a row, and then 4 more games at the Fort Wayne Showcase.
They're going to get real comfortable in Fort Wayne this upcoming week.
So getting ready for MJDP and the FreshCoast Freeze here in just a matter of moments. Of course, you mentioned this is only MJDP's 4th game of the season. Their home opener was back on September 19th, a 6-1 loss at the hands of their brothers from across the locker room, the Metro Jets. And speaking of Fort Wayne, the last 2 games MJDP has played, well, it's against the Fort Wayne Spacemen back on September 27th, an 8-1 loss. And then this past Wednesday, October 8th, a 5-3 loss. The Jets, the MJDP had a 3-2 lead before Fort Wayne with 3 unanswered goals, including an empty netter, to seal the deal for the Spacemen.
You know, when it's your first home game and it's also the other team's first home game, that's got to be a funny circumstance to be in, you know. Is it really a home game when you're splitting it? This could be the first true home game.
Yeah, September 19th, it was technically it was MJDP's home opener against the Metro Jets. So the Metro Jets were actually the away team for that game.
It's probably pretty comfortable to be the away team in your home locker room.
Well, actually, no. What happened is the away team has to go down to where the visitors' locker rooms are.
Ooh.
And that's going to be the return favor on October 29th. When the Metro Jets will host MJDP, so the Jets will enjoy the comforts of the home locker room.
Right.
MJDP goes down to the visitors' locker room.
Interesting. Okay,
Yeah.
so I was always wondered how they kind of did that. So let's go to the Fort Wayne game. They lost a 3-2 lead. You know, that's something that happens with young teams. You have to learn how to finish off games. People think that it's just easy to win hockey games. And
Right.
that's just not the case. For players, you have to come together, learn how to win, learn how to do the little things in the third period that help protect your net. You have to learn how to, possibly get that extra goal. Just because you're up 1 doesn't mean your lead is safe. Teams are trying to play for that second goal just to give themselves a little bit more breathing room. And that's just something that young teams have to learn. It's what the FreshCoast Freeze are learning right now. They've gone through that as well. So young teams, you have to learn how to win. And I think that's something that this Metro Jets development team can learn pretty quickly. And once they do, I think they're going to take off and running. This 0-3 start, I don't want to say fluke because they've played 3 really good teams, but I think that's more their schedule than the talent of the team as they try to rectify that tonight.
This is the first of a 6-game road trip for the FreshCoast Freeze, including the first 2 right here at Mount Clemens Ice Arena, as we do a little double duty here at Mount Clemens Ice Arena as we get set to go. Let's meet the Metro Junior Jets Hockey Organization starting lineups. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome back to Mount Clemens Ice Arena for game number 2 of our Friday doubleheader matchup. As this matchup features the Metro Jets Development Program, MJDP, who will face off against the FreshCoast Freeze. Let's meet the starting lineup. First for the visitors out of Holland, Michigan, the FreshCoast Freeze. Starting on left wing, the 18-year-old from Fergus Falls, Minnesota, the 11, Braden Albert. Starting at center, the 19-year-old from Fitchers, Indiana, the 20, Ryan Murphy. Starting at right wing, the 19-year-old from Rockwood, Michigan, the 23, Charlie Huntoon. Starting on defense, the 20-year-old from Fremont, Michigan, the number 2, Brendan Hannas. Also on defense, the 19-year-old from Parker, Colorado, the 9, Ryan Mitchell. And starting in goal, the 18-year-old from Mattawan, Michigan, the number 1, Colin Porn. General manager, head coach of the FreshCoast Freeze is Kyle Gagnew. And now the starting lineup for the Metro Jets Development Program. Starting on the left wing, the 19-year-old from Montgomery Village, Maryland, the 49, Ryan Jacobson. Starting at center, the 20-year-old from Lake Orion, Michigan, the 17, Landon Graham. Starting at right wing, the 17-year-old from New Baltimore, Michigan, the 62, Ronnie Luthers. On defense, the 17-year-old from Wheeling, Illinois, the 93, Daniel Luska. Also on defense, the 18-year-old from Bois Chateau, Quebec, Canada, the 61, Alex Fournier. And starting in goal, the 19-year-old from Romeo, Michigan, the 31, Cameron Cyrus. Head coach of MJDP is Jake Howie, assisted by Jamie Lovell and Danny Vanderweel. And now, ladies and gentlemen, would you please rise if you're able for the playing of our national anthem. Pre-game ceremony is complete. National anthem is played for a second time on a Friday afternoon. It's time to play some Metro Jets hockey here in Mount Clemens, Michigan. Your referee is Grant Libstaff. The linesmen are Dan Alexi and Becca Cessna. As the Metro Jets Development Program, MJDP, wearing the home blue uniforms, the white and red trim. They'll be skating right to left on your television screen. Or the FreshCoast Freeze, who play their home game to the Griff's Ice House West in Holland, Michigan. Located southwest of the beautiful city of Grand Rapids on the west side of Pierre, Michigan. They are the road team wearing the road white with a powder blue shoulders, gray, light blue, and black trim. They are skating left to right on your Black Bear television dials. We get set to go. Matt Naiman taking a little break. He's going to concentrate on his production duties. Aaron Poling going to be your color analyst today. He is the voice of FreshCoast Freeze as we get set to go. First ever meeting between MJDP, the FreshCoast Freeze, and we're underway. What you may have noticed, Aaron Poling, is that in the lineup, 2 17-year-olds and an 18-year-old getting the call in the starting lineup. A very, very young MJDP squad.
Absolutely. It's something that you love to get them out on the ice early, get them out on the ice feeling good, feeling like it's a hockey game. Sometimes for young players, the nerves set in, but if you can calm those nerves by getting a good shift in, hitting somebody, or just making a play, it's amazing how quickly kids can settle in.
Alex Fournier kicks it over to Daniel Luska, who lost the wheel. Picked up there by the Freeze. As Landon Graham trying to dig it out, Daniel Luska as well. Seems like it's been forever since MJDP has been here at Mount Clemens Ice Arena, and it has, September 19th. Their only other home game this year, so it's been a while since we've seen MJDP. As we talked about in the Vital Title pregame show, as Cameron Cyrus makes a save. This is only their 4th game of the year for MJDP, while the FreshCoast Freeze, this is game number 7 for them.
Yeah, you'd expect after 7 games, maybe the hands are a little bit more crisp than they would be after 4, but you're kind of getting to the length of the area, or excuse me, the area of the season where it might not matter as much, as both teams have really gotten their hockey legs underneath them. This should be an exciting game.
Kobayashi tried to get it out. Cameron Cyrus now 6 it across over for the 27. Clovis Gamelin who gets it out. Here comes Thomas LeBlanc. LeBlanc pressured there by the 6 of Gavin Pastotnik. Puck comes out, but all knocked away by McLean. And here come the Freeze the other way. Trace Beckwith dumps it in. Mario Boscovich is right there. Beckwith comes back with it. Beckwith 6'2", 205-pounder. Puck knocked away by Stanhope. Spencer Stanhope trying to get it out, knocked out. But Boscovich gets it back on the second effort. He'll send it across over to Thomas LeBlanc. LeBlanc sends it in. Galen goes after it. Pressured there by the 17 of Caden Hill. Galen had it, still has it. Pressured there by the 12 of Braden Kelly. Back to Yuzushinis. Yuzushinis over to Rabone. Now knocked away by Beckwith. Beckwith now over to Braden Kelly. Kelly lost it there to Donald Pratt. Pratt sends it up to Rabone. The former Atlanta Mad Hatter. Had it knocked away from him. And Pratt tries to grab it. Pressured by Patrick Waterman. But Pratt now comes out with it. Sends it up to Rabone. Rabone looking for Noah Baderka with a shot. And Porn sticks it up in the netting and out of play with 17:44 to go here in period number 1.
Yeah, very calmly there from Porn. Just getting rid of that puck, getting a face-off, allowing his team to reset, finish a change. Kind of got caught in between on the change. Good job there from Porn just to slow it down. And I think the slower the pace of the game, it kind of favors the Freeze a little bit more. If they can make this choppy, it's what they did well in Toledo. They chopped up the first period, allowed themselves to skate away 1-1 after 1.
The captain of the Freeze, Patrick Waterman, wins that draw. Very, very good choice, by the way, by the FreshCoast Freeze and named Waterman the captain. Here comes Rabone. Rabone comes up, fires, sticked away there by Porn. Comes back and now picked up. Big hit there by Brendan Hannas, the former Motor City Gambler.
Yeah, Hannas has come on pretty strong this year. Very quiet, calm defensive player. I think he's been really strong for this FreshCoast team to start the year.
Sean Stevens comes out with it. The 20-year-old from DeWitt, Michigan, dumps it into the MJDP zone. Chasing it down is Emerson Lippert. Another one of the original Freeze. As Cyrus poked that away. Baderka now. Over to Rabone, knocked off the ice. Here comes Gerald LeGros. 2-on-1 if they hurry. LeGros trying to feed it across, but Baderka, but knocked away. Here come the Freeze the other way. Sean Stevens right back where he was about 45 seconds ago. Stopped by Cameron Cyrus. So let's meet Cameron Cyrus, the 19-year-old goaltender from Romeo, Michigan. He has been spectacular so far in his premier debut, coming up from the elite squad. A 190 goals against average, a 962 save percentage last season for the elite squad. 15 games played, a 229 goals against average. My favorite stat is save percentage. A 931 save percentage and 3 shutouts for Cyrus.
That's really good stats. Looks really calm early on. Couple easy stops to start. Looking real calm in the crease. You'll love to see that out of your young netminder.
Puck dumped in. Cyrus is directing traffic. Going to stick it across over for the 71 of Caleb Curdo. Curdo now to Benavides. Lucas Benavides now to Ben McLean. McLean trying to feed it back to Benavides. Went through his legs and it goes all the way back down. Going to be picked up by Alex Fournier. We just watched his older brother, Enric Fournier, play for the Metro Jets in that 8-2 victory over the Battle Creek Colonels.
Don't discount how important that is. When you get a young player, the more comfortable they are, especially with a sibling around, makes it a little bit easier to transition as well. As it's hard to be a junior hockey player and come move places that you've never been.
Oh, definitely. You rely on that experience of your older brother. Enric Fournier just played his 100th career game in the USPHL Premier. For Alex Fournier, this is his 4th game. So that experience pays off, plus having an older brother, having a sibling. You're so far from home. They're both from Bois Chateau, Quebec, Canada, outside of Montreal. They're both so far from home. His older brother has done this before, so he can coach his younger brother.
Absolutely. Last chance for the Freeze by Huntoon. It's an example we talked about in the pregame show. Good skill, good speed. Just has to put it all together, and he missed the net.
Picked up there by Braden Albert. Was deflected in. Now giving chase is John Legibokov, making his USPHL Premier debut. called up from the elite squad after Connor Wheeler suffered an upper body injury in last Wednesday's game. Lejabokov wears number 53, making his premier debut here this afternoon.
Congratulations to that young man. You love to see it.
Oh, Stanhope with a giveaway, but able to regroup as Brendan Hanna sends it in by Stanhope. Jacobson's there, now picked up by Landon Graham. Graham to Blackett. Blake Brackett gets it out in the neutral zone. Jacobson going to chase it down. Hanna's is there, but so is Logan Eshelman. Eshelman now with the puck. Pressure there by Kobayashi, and Kobayashi steals the pass. Chris Kobayashi trying to send it over to Blake Brackett. What was picked off there by the 12 of Braden Kelly. The former Lakes Area United Michigan High School Athletic Association. 5th on the team in scoring last year. But now here comes Lejabokov, who sends it in. Kobayashi goes after it, being chased down by the 17 of Caden Hill. They collide along the boards. Picked up by Kobayashi, over to Gamelin, lets it go for Yazushinis. I'll get that name right eventually this season. He played for the Chicago Cougars last year in the elite and premier squad.
Yeah, someone I got to see.
Yazushinis.
Got to see him quite a bit during the Detroit showcase here at Mount Clemens Ice Arena.
Yes, indeed. That's coming up next month. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. Right there, Yazushinis on a shot off the blocker of Colin Porn. And comes back to Donald Pratt, the former Palm Beach Typhoon. Back to Yazushinis, who sends it in.
I love that Porn jumped out of his crease to really cut down the angle to help make that save.
Gamelin may have just caught an errant stick up in the mouth. Badurka battles there with the 17 of Caden Hill. And now picked up by the 8 of Heath Jen. Didn't play last year. The number 8 for the Fresh Coast Freeze. But he is a former Steele County Blade from 2 years ago. Badurka, shot saved by Porn, and he'll hang on. And let's meet the number 1 of Colin Porn. The 18-year-old from Matawan, Michigan, started the year with the Thunder Hockey Club in the NCDC. Very impressive. 2 games played, a .250 goals against average, a .912 save percentage. Last year, splitting time with the Battle Creek Colonels in the USPHL, as well as the Connecticut Chiefs U18 AAA program in the Hockey Federation. Previous to that was a Southwest Michigan Blade and a Matawan Wildcat in the Michigan High School Athletic Association. Making his Fresh Coast Freeze debut, that is 19-year-old now, Colin Porn.
Yeah, happy to have him. Typically when you get players coming down from the NCDC, you expect that it's because they're just not quite ready for it. Not necessarily for Porn. He just kind of wanted to move on, and the Freeze are very happy to have him.
Yeah, spent time with the Battle Creek Colonels last year from Matawan outside of Kalamazoo. For those of you who know your geography of our great state of Michigan. Picked up there by the 6 of Gavin Postotnik. The former Binghamton Buzz in the NA3. Also a former Muskegon Reese Puffer Rocket. Former teammate of Metro Jet Jackson Stone.
Yes, sir.
Who had 2 goals and an assist in the game previous today.
Absolutely. Right across the street from where I grew up. I would have gone to the same high school as those 2 players. Instead, I went to a small school called Holton that was just down the road.
Badurka tried to feed it there to the 58 of Spencer Stanhope, who was pinching in from the blue line. Picked off there by the 26. The 18-year-old from Flat Rock, Michigan.
Yeah, Jake Seski.
Seski sends it in. Puck comes back out to Daniel Luska. Just 17 years old. Just turned 17 yesterday. So happy birthday, Daniel Luska. Who feeds it up to Ben McLean. McLean with a shot off the mask of Colin Porn. That's the one way to use your head. Caleb Curto. Braden Albert now feeds it up to the 23 of Charlie Huntoon. Up to the 11 of Braden Albert with a shot. May have caught the crossbar. Sent in by Ryan Mitchell. Luska battles there with a 23 of Huntoon. Luska will go back after it. Wraps around the board for Caleb Curto. Curto off the boards to Lucas Benavides. Benavides had it knocked away by Brendan Hannas. Send it across over the 20, Ryan Murphy. Murphy had to go backtrack it over to Ryan Mitchell. Mitchell, one of the alternate captains for the Freeze, into the cross, picked off by Landon Graham to Ronnie Lubers. Lubers with a shot, save, rebound to Benavides, and a save by Porn. 2 big stops by Colin Porn. And here come the Freeze the other way. Sidestepping was Logan Eshelman. Couldn't sidestep down on Pratt, though. And Pratt gets it back. Pratt over to Yazushyanis. Puck is sent all the way down. And icing the call with 10:09 to go here in period number 1. Shots 5-3 in favor of MJDP.
Yeah, that last rush right up there against for MJDP. Porn, again, coming out of his net. He is 6'4", so the closer he can get to the puck, the less room the shooter sees. And being that big, the puck will find you quite often. Did a great job there. Give a lot of credit to Ryan Murphy coming through and clearing the rebound that was dancing precariously in the slot as the Freeze come back to protect the cage.
Face-off deep in the MJDP zone, won by the Jets. Yazushyanis. Way too many syllables for one name. Over to Landon Graham. Tried to feed it up to Lubers, but knocked away there by the 13 of Logan Eshelman. Need you to do me a favor, Aaron. Find out who Logan Eshelman's dad is.
You okay?
His first name. I have a feeling he's related to someone I know very well. I have a feeling of this. You have to let me know.
I will do that. Sounds like I got homework for the intermission.
Because it's the same guy I'm thinking of. His grandpa was a very, very good friend of mine and a mentor of mine. If it's the same one I'm thinking of. There's not many Eshelmans. So, Donald Pratt. And Rockwood is south of here.
Correct.
Near Trenton, right? Kobayashi with a shot as Porn collided with his own teammate. Yeah, Rockwood's down by Trenton, right?
That is correct.
The Waltz area?
I believe so.
Maybe. LeBlanc had it knocked away, picked up by Braden Kelly. Kelly now over to the 6 of Pestotnik. Back to the 19 of Emerson Lippert. Tied for second on the team in scoring last year for the Freeze. Ryan Mitchell wraps it around the boards to Pestotnik. Lippert deflects it in the MJDP zone. Mario Boscovich, who played his high school career right here at Mount Clemens Ice Arena for the Lance Crews Unified. So scenery-wise, nothing changed for him.
Absolutely. And that's big. It makes it so much easier when you're comfortable in a place, ice that you know. It's the transition to junior from high school is a little bit easier that way.
Lejabokov with a shot was partially blocked there by the 28 of Brennan Zavalking.
Great job getting back to disrupt what was kind of a breakaway from the angle.
Zavalking's a big boy, 6'2", 230 out of Kentwood, Michigan.
Loves to throw his weight around, too. They're just working on making sure he gets the hits lower. Has a couple of hits for up high with elbows and hits along the shoulder area. So if he can lower his sight just a little bit, we think Zavalking can be a really effective player with that size and just his willingness to throw the weight around.
Porn with a glove save. MJDP 7-3 in shots right now. And you get this a lot with teams that have never seen each other before, trying to feel each other out a little bit. You see this a lot more in showcases than anything.
Yes.
This is one of the rare non-divisional regular season games. That's not a showcase game. Luska with a shot into the paraphernalia of Colin Porn, who hangs on with 7:44 to go here in period number 1.
And you know, I think that quiet calmness of Porn is really kind of helping the Freeze so far right now, helping them settle in. And back to the point that you make, for the Freeze, all non-division games this year are all going to be games that are brand new, except for a few games at the showcase, just because they didn't play a whole lot outside of the division last year. A little bit of a reprieve, not having to play Metro 6 times, not playing Columbus 8 times. It's a little bit, well, I'd say, a healthier schedule.
Looking at the next time you guys are at home, October 31st, November 1st, speaking of non-divisional games, the Wisconsin Rapids River Kings come to town. That's a tough foe.
That's a pretty good non-divisional team that you're playing, but like we said, those are games that the Freeze like to play. It's the ones you get better in. And
the schedule makers didn't do the FreshCoast Freeze any favors, but it's kind of, I think, how you guys want it, though, as Porn covers it up with 7:03 to go here in period number 1. The schedule makers did you guys no favors in the Detroit Showcase. You guys got the Red River Spartans, which is a divisional game.
Right.
Then you got the Charlotte Rush.
Yep.
The Chicago Crush. Then the Hershey Cubs.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, the Freeze, they welcome that.
Yeah.
Just because it's the way to get better. You know, Charlotte's a really good team. That's going to be a test right off the bat for the Freeze. And you want to compare yourself against the best teams. You know, we're trying to climb the ranks. You're not going to climb from being dead last almost in the entire USPHL to the top of the leaderboard. So those are games that are going to test the Freeze, but they're games that they're excited to play because if you can play well in those games, the confidence you can gain just from playing a 5-1 game against Charlotte, it's kind of incredible.
And then the following month in December, the return of the USPHL Chicago Showcase. You guys hadn't had a chance to experience that before. But that Chicago Showcase, man, you got the Chicago Cougars, Chicago T-Rex, the Fort Wayne Spacemen, then the Minnesota Blue Ox.
Absolutely. That's an even tougher schedule as it seems right now.
Deflected shot goes wide.
But it's what the Freeze want. You got to welcome all challengers. You can't really control who you play at these showcases, so you just got to buckle up and play who's in front of you. And we'll see how the Freeze do there. But pretty good start to the first period for the Freeze here. As this game goes along for the Freeze, look for them to continue to make it a little bit more choppy instead of getting into a boat race with the Metro Jets development program.
And as for MJDP, mentioned about the game today. Next home game will be on Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, October 15th, against the Fort Wayne Spacemen. Already the third time the MJDP has seen the Spacemen. Then a quick road trip. It's by the schedule, it is a 2-game road trip, but then October 24th, MJDP travels to the Rink BC to play the Battle Creek Colonels, and then they travel all the way to Mount Clemens Ice Arena to play the Metro Jets, which is technically a road game for MJDP.
Awful lot of travel for the development program coming up.
Indeed.
That long walk down the stairs.
Yes, indeed. Then the Fort Wayne Showcase, which is MJDP is a part of. Brackett with a shot and he scores! Top shelf! Blake Brackett gives MJDP the 1-0 lead. As Blake Brackett, the 18-year-old from Fairfield, California, picks up the goal. And for Brackett, that is his first goal of the season, his first career junior goal. MJDP strikes first. They lead 1-0.
Not only was it a goal, it was a hard-working goal, too, coming down the near side, lifting the stick, collecting the puck, pouring up over the blocker. Heck of a play there from someone who looks like he's going to score quite a few goals for this development program.
Blake Brackett picks up the goal. MJDP with a 1-0 lead. And they're continue to swarm on Colin Bourne. 4:54 to go here in period number 1. It was Blake Brackett, his first career goal from Spencer Stanhope and Mario Boscovich at 14:52. The format on the game sheet on the USPHL website is deceiving. It adds 1 to everything. It's weird. We gotta fix that. It's confusing at times. I figure if I mention it enough, it may be fixed.
So first all around, first assist for Stanhope and Boscovich as well.
Yes,
congratulations
indeed.
to them.
All of them getting their first point.
Freeze take over in their own zone, chopped along the boards. They battle to a side. Jets get away with it. Play to the middle of the ice, tied up out in front. That was Seske using his body to control. Quick breakout here. Here's Stevens, just couldn't corral it. Trying to use that speed to cut through. Sean Stevens first to it. Played behind the net. Picked up by Lippert. Walks out on the backhand. Shot, save made. The rebound available on the back door. Save again by Cyrus as Waterman picks it up. To the point, here's Mitchell. Lets a shot go. Pad save made by Cyrus. Stevens plays it down low. Jets will take over in their own zone.
Cameron Cyrus with a bunch of big saves to keep this game 1-0. I'm calling it, doing the PA, watching that as well. My goodness. And Kobayashi up to LeBlanc. Tomas LeBlanc, the 17-year-old from St. Hyacinthe, Quebec, Canada. Just 17 years old. got an interesting stat for you in our next whistle. As Jarrett LeGros with a shot, Porn makes a save. Comes back to Yazusianis with a bouncing puck off the left toe of Porn. Over to Bederka. Thought Porn had it covered, but Bederka knocked it away. Back over to LeGros with a shot on the side of the net. Bederka grabs it back. Off the boards of Legibokov. John Legibokov blocked there. And now off to the races. It's Sean Stevens, but Cyrus came out to play it. And it bounced off of Legibokov. Rabone now to Bederka. Bederka brings it in, leaves it for LeGros with a shot. Looking for the top shelf, goes high and wide. Knocked away there by Matthew Elsey Jr. Rabone knocks his man off the puck. Goes back to Yazusianis, to LeGros. Kept in though by the 14 of Jack Smith. With a shot was blocked there by Legibokov. Comes back to Elsey. Elsey over to Smith. Smith with a shot goes wide. Picked up by Zavelking. Knocked away, and a nice play there by Seski, but Benavides knocks it away from him. Shot off the post. Lucas Benavides, all that effort, rings it off the post.
Yeah, great play right there, lifting the stick of the defender going back. Just missed, making this a 2-0 game. What a huge goal that would have been late in the period for the development program.
Bouncing puck. Boscovich as Porn sears that aside. Caleb Curdo is there, knocked away off the puck by Pestotnik. Kept in though. Over to Curdo. Curdo with a shot, saved by Porn. And he'll hang on with 2:04 to go here in the first period.
Yeah,
here's your stat for the day. Average age of MJDP is actually younger than the Metro Jets elite team.
It's a young team.
They're
Absolutely.
actually younger than the elite team, which is technically a tier lower.
Right. But, you know, talent comes in all ages. But sometimes when that age is a younger number, there's a lot of things that you have to learn about the game of hockey. It doesn't all come to everyone quickly. In the NHL, they make it look like everyone learns everything right away, but that's just not how the game works. It's a learning lesson after learning lesson.
Boscovich shot, saved by Porn. So it was Blake Brackett from Spencer Stanhope and Mario Boscovich at 14:52 to give MJDP a 1-0 lead over the Fresh Coast Freeze. Landon Graham over to Jacobson with a shot, was knocked away as Brackett and Porn collided. And Porn a little slow to get up, should be okay. Picked up by Brackett. Brackett tried to feed it to Landon Graham. Landon Graham, second on the team in scoring last year for the Metro Jets Elite, led the team in scoring in the playoffs for the Jets Elite program. The well-deserved call-up to MJDP. Albert with a shot, patted away. Jacobson now to Graham. Boscovich pinching in. Graham tried to feed it over to Boscovich. Leaves it there for Landon Graham. Knocked off the puck there. And comes back to the 11 of Braden Albert. The former Fergus Falls Otter, Minnesota high school hockey.
He's a kid that I know Fresh Coast loves. His temperament, you love to see him play. Gets really physical. He's a physical presence that the Fresh Coast Freeze desperately needed after last year. If you notice one thing about this team, a lot more physical this year, a little more toughness to them. And that's not necessarily a knock on the team last year. Last year, the Freeze really couldn't defend themselves by fighting, just because if a player did go out and get into a fight, they're suspended the next game. There's a chance the Freeze couldn't have played the game because we wouldn't have enough players.
The biggest noticeable difference is how much bigger the Fresh Coast Freeze are.
For sure.
You guys have some big boys on there.
Absolutely. Spearheaded by the goalie Porn at 6'4".
Yeah. Shot there. Gamelin, saved by Porn. Colin Porn has seen a lot of pucks, and there's another one saved off the shot by Fournier. Gamelin with a shot, just wide of Porn. 25 seconds left. LeBlanc over to Luskov, feeds it back to Kobayashi. Chris Kobayashi sent it toward deflected pass, saved by Porn. And now breakaway for Huntoon. Off angle, he scores! Off the blocker, and a soft bouncer past Cameron Cyrus. And Charlie Huntoon has tied this game for the Freeze.
What a pass from his fellow Conehead. Think Miracle on Ice is where they got the nickname from Logan Eshelman as he banked that pass off the boards just out in front of Untoon. But give Charlie a lot of credit. He kept the motor going, got a chance on net, and is rewarded with the good hustle. Last-minute goals could be a backbreaker. Usually they go in against the Freeze. This is one of the first times that's happened for them. See if they can ride that momentum.
Untoon, his second goal of the season with 12.4 seconds to go here in period number 1. And we're tied at 1. And Donald Pratt is trying to hold it off as the horn sounds to end period number 1. FreshCoast Freeze first goal. His second goal of the season, scored by number 23, Charlie Huntoon. Assisted by number 26, Jake Seski. Time of the goal, 19:47 of the first period. As the Freeze first goal, Huntoon, his second of the season from Seski, that's what I meant. At 19:47 of the first period. Shots on goal in the first period. FreshCoast with 8, MJDP with 18. Coming up next, National Coney Island first period interview. Our first appearance, part 2, by Mount Cummins Figure Skating Club Honors reporter Sarah Vassar. Standing by with a man who put MJDP on the board, Blake Brackett, the 18-year-old from Fairfield, California.
Thanks, Matt. So, Blake, you scored the first goal of the game. How'd you make that happen? What'd you see there?
I just took the opportunity, chipped it out, skated hard, tried to beat the guy, and then saw the goalie read the pass and just put it up top shelf.
So heading into the second period, the game is tied. What do you think that the team has to do?
We definitely need to keep up the speed, play a little harder, be a little harder to play against in our zone. So, yeah.
All right, well, good luck with the rest of the game. Back up to you guys on the flight deck.
Thank you very much, Sarah. We'll take a short break, come back for a first period recap and start the second period. The score at the end of 1 period of play. The Metro Jets Development Program, MJDP 1, the FreshCoast Freeze 1. You're watching Metro Jets Hockey live exclusively on Black Bear TV. And welcome back to Mount Clemens Ice Arena. We're located approximately 30 minutes northeast of Motown, Detroit, in Mount Clemens, Michigan. Game number 2 of our Friday doubleheader here at MCI. The score at the end of one period of play, the Metro Jets Development Program, MJDP 1, the Fresh Coast Freeze 1. My name is Matt Preer, the voice of the Metro Jets Hockey Club up high in the flight deck, alongside Black Bear TV broadcast producer Matt Naiman, who's given up the color analyst controls today to the voice of the Fresh Coast Freeze, Aaron Poling. Tyler Naiman manning the controls on the camera, while Mount Clemens Figure Skating Club on Ice reporter Sarah Vassar continues to lurk about the building in search of victims.
I was going to say lurk's a tough word, but when you add victim to it, then yeah, I guess it makes sense.
Right. National Coney Island first period recap. National Coney Island has been in business since 1965, celebrating their 60th anniversary this calendar year, and currently owns and operates over 20 restaurants here in southeastern Michigan. Corporate headquarters are located just down the road in Roseville, home of the original location. Call 1-888-44-CONEY and order now. Have you had some National Coney Island yet?
Oh, of course. I love going to National Coney Island. My first time in Detroit at 8 years old. I loved it so much, and I begged my parents to go there all 5 days. And I'll give my parents a lot of credit. They suffered through it, and they went there every single time we asked because we just love Coney Island so much.
That's a good place to go to dinner tonight.
Absolutely.
You guys are going to be hanging in town tonight, right?
We are going to be hanging in town. We also need a place to watch the Tigers game tonight because it's a big one if you haven't heard.
Oh, no doubt. Game 5. I'm going to be listening to that on the way to Indiana tonight, and I'll probably catch the last few innings at my hotel.
Oh, the perfect time.
Yes, indeed. Shots on goal in the first period. Fresh Coast with 8, while MJDP with 18. And it was MJDP getting on the board first. Blake Brackett, his first goal of his junior career. On the assist from Spencer Stanhope and Mario Boscovich. That came at 14:52 to give MJDP a 1-0 lead. But they with 12.4 seconds left in the first period. Charles Huntoon picks up his second goal of the season. The assists have been adjusted. Logan Eshelman, Ryan Mitchell on the assist. That came at the 1947 mark to pull the Freeze to a 1-1 tie. The Fresh Coast Freeze, as we just mentioned, hanging around the Metro Detroit area this weekend. They have a date with the Metro Jets tomorrow, Saturday, October 11th. You, my friend, calling the game for me while I'm in Winchester, Indiana. Certainly appreciate it.
Absolutely excited to do it. Like I said in the pregame show, easiest yes in the world whenever someone asks you to hop on a broadcast. It's just so much fun, and it's going to be a great story. I love telling the storyline of David versus Goliath, essentially. Not to knock anything that the Freeze have done to get to the point where they are now, but Metro's the big dogs. They've won the division, 8 times in a row now?
They're the 10-time champions, 5 of the last 6
5 of the last 6 years. Something that if you want to get to the point where you're going to nationals, you're going to have to beat the Metro Jets. So I love telling the stories of these games where, who knows how it goes. If it goes anything like last year the first few did, it's not going to be a whole lot of a story to tell. It's going to be a lot of filler at the end. Right. But, it's something that programs have to do to get better is you have to play these games. You have to get up for these games. You have to be excited for these games. You have to have the confidence in yourself, the belief that, hey, we're going to walk in to the arena and we are going to shock the world. And that's something that, hopefully the Fresh Coast Freeze can take with them tomorrow. It's not going to be an easy task, but, getting their feet underneath them today, being comfortable with the ice, and being ready for tomorrow, I think that's going to help them. But, they still got 40 minutes left to deal with the development program. They can't start looking ahead to tomorrow. If they do that, they could find themselves behind very quickly.
And tomorrow it's going to be you and Matt Naiman on the call. Vital Title Insurance Agency pregame show at 4 o'clock. Face-off at 4:30 tomorrow here at MCIA. While MJDP, their next game, is back here at home at MCIA. Coming up on a Wednesday, October 15th, the second game of our Wednesday doubleheader. Earlier that morning, it will be the Metro Jets Elite and the Fort Wayne Spaceman Elite. Vital Title pregame show at 11:45, face-off at 12:15. And then immediately following that game, it'll be the Metro Jets Development Program and the Fort Wayne Spacemen USPHL Premier Midwest Division matchup. Vital Title pregame show immediately following the Jets Spaceman Elite game. Face-off 15 minutes after that. And then the next home game here at MCIA after October 15th won't be until October 29th. Ooh. The Metro Jets will host MJDP right here at MCIA. Vital Title pregame show, 11:30 a.m. Face-off at high noon, 12 p.m. on Wednesday, October 29th.
Think there's ever scheduling conflicts between the Jets and the JDP? Or
not necessarily.
Do you think their GMs get together and work that out?
Yeah, it's the same guy. So there are times, though, when the teams are, for example, the Jets are here at home, and while the other team, while the DP and Elite perhaps are on the road at the same time. That's happened before. Matt Naiman and I have sat here, and he's had the DP game on his phone while we're calling the Jets game here, and vice versa. We definitely have had that before.
That is something I definitely can't relate to yet. Hopefully, maybe in the future I'll be able to do that. But it's got to be a lot of fun to have 3 programs here, and
it's a lot of work.
Yeah, a lot of that too. But it's 3 programs that you get to watch players get better, and that's what I love about junior hockey is the development of young players into not just hockey players, but into young men, just growing as individuals. Ultimately, that's what sports is all about. You want to win championships. Only one team wins the national title a year, but every team can really develop a young man that go on to do great things in the world.
MJDP, the home team, wearing the dark blues, the white and red trim. They're skating left to right on your television screen to begin the second period with the FreshCoast Freeze wearing their road white, the powder blue shoulders, dark blue and gray and black trim. They are skating right to left on your Black Bear television dial. And Cyrus had to come out and play that as the 11 of Braden Albert lost the wheel and went feet first into the boards. He is hurting.
Yeah, you hope he's all right and can walk it off. Man, that was a loud collision over on the near side.
Yeah, he just lost the wheel because Cyrus came out to play the puck. He went to turn and his left skate just gave out on him, and he went feet first into the boards.
All right, tough kid. If he's able to keep going, I definitely have no doubt that he'll be back on the ice if he's available, but I think they're going to try to get the trainer over and just check him out just to be safe.
And our head trainer today, Haley Naiman. Our backup trainer for our head athletic trainer, Dave Ross. Of course, Matt Naiman knows Haley well. It's his daughter-in-law. So, 19 minutes to go here in period number 2. On the FreshCoast Freeze first goal, scored by Charlie Huntoon, his second of the season. The assist have been
play down in the corner.
Credit assist.
Speckwith comes to the near side on the backhand, looking for an outlet, unable to find one, dumps it down low. Eshelman gives chase, taken there by Graham. Banks off the boards. Beckwith right back down low. The Jets will take advantage behind their own net. Braden Kelly with a good forecheck takes it away. Centering pass, good stick. Kelly chops to the near boards. Beckwith gives chase in the near side. Tries to cut to the middle of the ice. That's poked away. Man goes
first
down.
Penalty of the game coming up. It's going to be on Landon Graham. Graham's pleading his case. He's not going to win that. So MJDP will go on their first, take it to the mat. Michigan athlete training penalty kill of the game. 2-minute minor for tripping. And MJDP on the penalty kill. Well, it's not good. 43%. They have struggled on the special teams.
That last shift's a good example of what Beckwith and Kelly do. They get the puck in the offensive zone. They just go to work, winning it back, winning it back, winning it back, and eventually getting the team a power play.
FreshCoast Freeze on the power play, 15% clip, 4 power play goals and 27 opportunities with the man advantage for the Freeze. Looking to try to take the lead. Shot there goes wide, but stick lifted the last second by Donald Pratt. Here's Usianis, had the opportunity there.
Nicely done there by Eusebius to clear. Porn out of the net. Will dump it up the boards. Kept alive for the moment by the Jets. Huntoon tried to break through, unable to do so. This is cleared back into the free zone. Opportunity for LeBlanc. Walks in, shot blocked there. Rebound shot save made by Porn. As he'll swallow that up, holds on to the puck. As we'll get a face-off deep in the FreshCoast zone with the Freeze on the power play for a minute 12. 17:35 to go in the second period.
First power play opportunity for the FreshCoast Freeze. Face off to the left of goaltender Colin Porn. As Ben McLean able to push that forward. Picked up there by the 12 of Braden Kelly. Kelly leaves, sends it over to the 4 of Patrick Waterman, the 20-year-old from Lansing, Michigan. Second year with the Freeze, sends it in. Stanhope knocks it away but couldn't get it out. Kept in. Backhand pass there by Stevens. Was looking for Waterman, who wasn't expecting it. Comes back to McLean, who backhanded in. Now Ryan Jacobson off to the races. Jacobson gets there just ahead of Braden Kelly. Puts on the brace, kills off some valuable time in his penalty kill. As they battle on the boards, Ben McLean digs it out. Pressured there by Patrick Waterman. Backhand shot goes behind the net and picked up by Brendan Hannas. Hannas, the former Grand Rapids Kennewa Hills Knight. Michigan High School Athletic Association, feeds it across. Picked up there by Waterman. Off the pass from Pestotnik. Back to Waterman, blocked there by Jarrett LeGros and Noah Bederka. Now he's off to the races. Colin Porn's gonna have to come back out. Both teams back to full strength.
Very calmly moved to the corner there by Porn.
Picked off there, now Boscovich. Off the boards into the neutral zone. LeGros knocked out of the puck. Picked up there by Trace Beckwith. He was pickpocketed by LeGros. Now to Bederka, back to LeGros. LeGros got speed. LeGros double team there. Nice defensive play by the Freeze.
Heath John using all 6'3" of that frame to poke it away last second.
Daniel Luska, as you mentioned, celebrated his 17th birthday yesterday. Feeding it over to Noah Bederka. Bederka, the former Petoskey Northman. The northern lower peninsula of our beloved state of Michigan. Beautiful this time of year up there.
Absolutely.
Braden Albert trying to feed it across, picked off by Luska.
Good to see Albert back on the ice after he went down earlier.
LeGros to Bederka, who knocks it just wide of Porn. Picked up there by Heath John, the 19-year-old from Kearney, Nebraska. Shot there goes wide on Porn. Benavides collects. Lucas Benavides sends it in. Caleb Curto goes after it. Lets it go for Alec Fournier. Fournier to Rabone. Rabone looking for Benavides, goes wide. Benavides backhands it for Curto. Caleb Curto had a puck knocked away there, but kept in by Luska. Luska steps in. Decides to wheel back over to Fournier. Fournier winds up, fires into the big paw of Colin Porn, who hangs on with 14:48 to go here in period number 2.
Good pressure there from the development program. Freeze got a little discombobulated after a defender went down along the boards, leaving that man at the point wide open. Good save there from Porn as he continues to look confident in net. As you can see, he's a tall drink of water that takes up a lot of the net just by his frame, and that's something as a netminder that's a huge advantage. As you give a little bit less room to see the net for the shooter, it seems to be a lot harder to score just mentally. Not being able to see the twine makes it way harder.
6'4", 190-pounder. And to put it up into the lights and out of play. See the light pole flicker in there a little bit.
Looks like we need some maintenance.
Yeah. Of course, we're at the home of the Metro Jets, Junior Jets hockey organization. Programs from the Mighty Might all the way to U16s. Play their home games here and next door in Rink 2. Don't usually see Rink 2 utilized all that much on the junior side of things, except for the Detroit Showcase. You got to spend a lot of time there last November.
Oh, yeah, I was up in the scissor lift quite often.
Yes, indeed.
It's a fun place to call a game, but it's not a fun place to move around.
Yeah, don't move at all. I always go to call at least one game during the Detroit Showcase over at Rink 2, just to get a different feel.
Right.
Shot into the glove of Cameron Cyrus, courtesy of Ryan Mitchell.
Nice job there by Cyrus to peek through the traffic and make that catch. Just to, they compare goaltending to catching a lot in baseball. It's a little bit different because as a catcher, it's not often that you have to lean your head around a screener. And that ability right there to find the puck from the point is huge right there as you make that save look really easy.
And Mr. Poling gets his first opportunity at a MetroJet smoothie. How about that?
I'm excited for this.
They are good, dude. I'm telling you.
Thank you guys so much.
Oh, no problem. Thank you. Thank you for hanging out with us this weekend. Yeah, cheers. There we go. These are good, man. Yummy. Good for the voice, too. It's like, I think it's about every fruit in the vocabulary is in that.
This might be my first fruit in about 6 months,
Yeah.
so we hope the drastic change to my body doesn't make me sick.
Right. Boscovich pass intercepted, but gets bailed out by Spencer Stanhope, the 19-year-old from Spring Lake, Michigan, not too far from you. Stanhope, played for the New Jersey Titans last year. Previous to that was played for the Big B Coffee Hockey Club. Boscovich, pressured there by Sean Stevens, who's picked his pocket. Stevens, nice pass, shot, score! Tic-tac-toe! Wow! What a play! Eshelman off the pass.
Lippert buries it. Eshelman, the extra pass right there. Matt, you couldn't have said it any better. Tic-tac-toe. What a play by Sean Stevens to turn it over. That's something the Freeze have done more this year. Turn teams over in the offensive zone. They just haven't been able to finish right there. If that's a sign of things to come for this Fresh Coast team, man, you have to be excited as it looks like it's starting to come together for this Freeze team dating back to the last couple of games.
Emerson Lippert, the 19-year-old from Caledonia, Michigan, picked up his second goal of the season. And the Fresh Coast Freeze with a 2-1 lead over the MetroJets development program. The former Caledonia Fighting Scott. Michigan High School Athletic Association.
Lippert is now the leading active scorer for the Fresh Coast Freeze as he's inching closer to Drew Wendland, who's playing with Battle Creek this year. As Lippert continues to climb, it is expected that he and both Patrick Waterman will take over the top 2 spots by the end of the season for this Freeze team.
It was Lippert, his second goal of the season from Logan Eshelman and Sean Stevens at 6:53. Eshelman with 2 assists today. So the Fresh Coast Freeze with 2-1 lead over MJDP. Both teams trying to snap a winless streak. The Freeze have lost their last 5, though one of those was in overtime. Shot there, saved by Cyrus, point blank by Braden Kelly. And Donald Pratt slow to get up.
What a stop there that was from Cyrus. Pratt and I believe Eshelman went to the corner.
Yes.
And it was a loud noise off the boards as well. Good to see Pratt back to his feet.
Yeah, Donald Pratt, the 18-year-old from Coral Springs, Florida, played for the Palm Beach Typhoon the last 2 years on their elite squad. Proud of that was a Pinecrest Panther. Florida high school hockey ranks his leading scorer the last 2 years. As a freshman and a sophomore.
Yeah, that's impressive. And, it's a player that, as they develop, you're going to see that skill come out more. And, a lot of these guys, it's their first junior games. It's something the Freeze are dealing with right now. A lot of players on our team haven't played junior hockey before. It's something that, as they continue to get better, look out for the skill that they have.
Cyrus with a save on the shot there by Ryan Mitchell.
Ryan Mitchell getting chirped from the bench by Heath Yan. Mitchell doesn't shoot the puck that often. He's got 2 shots in this period with an assist as well. Ryan Mitchell's play has improved throughout the season. That's a player that if he can continue to get better for the Freeze, they love him as a leader. They love him as his toughness. If he can continue to get faster, get better, Ryan Mitchell is going to be a big part of this Freeze team going forward. Big save there by Porn. Freeze puck battle along the far side. Freeze take it away. Huntoon trying to break through. Good play at the line. Let's keep it in the zone. Hannes goes in, had it, is pinned to the boards. Puck comes free, chop back to the point. Here's Luska, wrist shot blocked out in front as that was Braden Albert stepping in front of that puck. Here's Mitchell. He'll navigate his way to the blue line looking for Albert, poked behind him. Albert collects, dumps it into the offensive zone.
So Lippert from Eshelman and Stevens has given the Freeze a 2-1 lead as Aiden Rabone brings it into the Freeze zone. Leaves it for Noah Baderka. Baderka stick handling around 3 different Freeze. Trying to get it to Fournier, but was knocked away, and now almost a breakaway, but Daniel Luska just prevented that. Otherwise, Huntoon was on a break. Rabone over to Fournier. Fournier winds up, fires, and Porn makes the save with 11:10 to go here in period number 2.
Heck of an effort there from the Freeze to get back in their defensive zone, as it looked like it was going to be a jailbreak 3-on-1 for the Jets. Good effort by Huntoon. Didn't get the breakaway, but also didn't give up on the play. At least allowed the pressure on the puck carrier enough to allow his defenders to come back and help out. Great play there from Huntoon.
Face-off draw win by Ben McLean. Put it over into the corner, now picked up. And here come the Freeze. Big Heath John trying to get it out. Stanhope trying to feed it up. Now Jack Smith grabs it. Picked up by the 28 of Zavelking. Brendan Zavelking. Pressure by John Lejabokov. Knocked away McLean trying to feed Curto. Curto's got speed. He's going to negate the icing. Trying to feed it to McLean, but knocked away there by the 17 of Caden Hill. Comes back to Lejabokov. Lejabokov knocked away by Jack Smith. Gets it right back. He'll fire. Deflected up high and wide. Comes back to Ben McLean, the 19-year-old. From Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Shot there goes wide. Picked up by Curto. Curto to Lejabokov. Back to Curto. Curto sends it up. Deflected by McLean, and Porn stood tall to make the save. Big stop there by Colin Porn. And 10:09 to go on the icing call.
Nicely done by the Jets after just missing a breakout pass into a breakaway. They get a lot of zone time. A couple of good chances towards the net. Horn had to be strong there. And if you had to point out one player who would be the star for the Freeze so far, it's got to be number 1 with the extra padding between the pipes, as he's been phenomenal in his first appearance through 30 minutes for the Fresh Coast Freeze.
And Porn covers it out, as we mentioned. Start of the year with the Thunder Hockey Club in the NCDC. And he had good stats. 2 games played, a .250 goals against average, .912 save percentage. Kind of surprised, to be honest with you, that he's down here in USPHL Premier.
Right, and he has his personal reasons for coming back. And
probably.
I was going to say, not necessarily for me to, not that I know, but it wouldn't be for me to describe for him. But, I mean, hey, the Fresh Coast Freeze are happy to have him.
Right. LeBlanc with a shot saved by Porn.
They get even happier there.
LeBlanc battles there with Brendan Hannas. Now Clovis Gamelin grabs it. Gamelin pressured there by the 4, Patrick Waterman. Wraps it around. Kobayashi to Pratt. Good to see Pratt back on the ice. Unfortunately, couldn't keep it onside, so MJDP has to regroup. Puck comes across, wide open, Sean Stevens, and he scores with 2 defensemen on his back. Sean Stevens, the 20-year-old from DeWitt, Michigan, his 3rd goal of the season. That was a hard-working goal. He had Donald Pratt and Paulus Yazusian flanked on his back. He still got the shot off through the pad. The Cameron Sirens, it's 3-1.
Right there. That is Sean Stevens in a nutshell. Work hard, use your legs, give all the effort you can.
We got a goalie change. Arnold Parody is going to come in. The 16-year-old from Montreal, Quebec, Canada is going to come in relief of Cameron Cyrus. We talked about how young this MJDP team is. Arnold Parody, just 16 years old, out of Montreal, Quebec, Canada. He's only 2 years removed from playing M15 in his native province of Quebec.
Whew. I think for the Jets, this is more about waking up the skaters in front of them versus what Cyrus did or didn't do, because he's made some good stops to keep him in the game. Here's Stevens again.
And we're going to meet Arnold Parody here in just a little bit.
Nice shot block by Lubber standing in front of the shot from Postonik. Good keep there by Stevens. He's been all over this shift.
Sean Stevens, his 3rd of the season from Patrick Waterman at 10:27, has given the Fresh Coast Freeze a 3-1 lead. Ubers with a shot up high and Porn. Puck is loose and knocked away. It's going to be icing. No, icing is way. Forceless going to play it. And it is an icing after all.
Okay. I was going to say,
We're
wait a
all
minute.
confused on that one.
I was going to say, because they blew the whistle kind of in the area of what would have been too many men, which would have been a real tough too many men penalty called against Metro. But they eventually got it right as that puck was iced. Heck of a play there by Jake Seski out in front of the net. The one time that, Porn had trouble with the rebound, Seski was there to clear it. Freeze helping their goalie out.
Here come the Freeze. Picked up there by Sean Stevens, who just made it 3-1. Shot there. Blocker saved there by Parody.
Seski jumping up in the play from his defensive spot. Got a good chance there. Just couldn't bury.
Raybone trying to feed it to LeGros, but was knocked away. And here comes Trace Beckwith. Beckwith with a puck. Skates around the net. Almost took a complete lap, but LeGros able to knock it away.
That's kind of Trace Beckwith's game right there. Get it to the boards and carry as Beckwith comes back into his own end. Tries to split a couple of defenders, able to get through. Bodies collide in the blue line. Puck doesn't get out. Play to an open wing. Here's Eshelman. He'll skate to some open space at the center ice position. Makes a move into the blue line. Continuing to go. Eshelman still with it. Puck caught up in his skates as he battles along the boards. Taken by Braden Kelly. Dump back in deep.
Boscovich working on his man. That will be the 13 of Logan Eshelman. He's had a good game. 2 assists. Wide open shot, and Parody makes a save. Now let's meet Arno Parody. Where's number 70 for MJDP? That's just 16 years old out of Montreal, Quebec, Canada. He's had an auspicious start to his junior career. A 649 goals against average, an 864 save percentage. He is 0-2 on the season. Coming to MJDP from the Ulysses Academy, RSEC M18 program in his native Montreal. 11 games played, a 255 goals against average, a 900 save percentage. 1 shutout last season for Parody.
Good play there by Albert in the neutral zone to slow down. Would have been an odd man rush. Numbers in the corner for the Jets. Puck worked around. Fire just over the top as Porn watches that go wide on the blocker side. Here's Mitchell. Couldn't corral it. Nicely done by the Jets to retake possession. Good move to center. Just cleared away last moment by the Freeze.
FreshCoast Freeze have dominated this second period, though they have been outshot 8-6 by MJDP, 26-14 overall. Curdo, a little toe drag, and Porn makes a save.
And a lot of that has to do with the man between the pipes. Timely saves are something that the Freeze haven't gotten in their franchise history, and they're going to need some today, up by 2. We talked about young teams trying to win games, and that applies to the FreshCoast Freeze as well. Opportunity here for a young team. Hasn't won a lot. You're up by 2 in the second period. It's an opportunity to play with the lead. That's something that the Freeze haven't done often.
And a very tough place to play.
Absolutely.
Here at Mount Clemens Ice Arena.
Only 1 road victory for the Freeze in their history. That coming in Battle Creek last year. It took 4 goals from Grant Kuykendall to take care of the Colonels that night.
Kuykendall didn't age out, did he?
He did, yes.
Oh, he did age out, okay.
Yeah, so Grant finished with the Ontario Reign junior hockey team last year,
yes,
as the Freeze granted him the opportunity to go play in the USPHL playoffs in his final year. Something they also did for Austin Walkus as well.
Okay. 6:32 to go here in period number 2. MJDP trailing 3-1. LeBlanc trying to feed it to Kobayashi, gets it back. Looking for somewhere to go with it. Over to Alec Fournier. Fires, blocked there by Matthew Elsey. Nice block by Elsey. The 20-year-old from Otsego, Michigan. Game with a shot off the blocker. Didn't know where it was. But takes the pad out. LeBlanc shot there. Blocker save, and Porn hangs on with 6:03 to go here in period number 2.
Nice job there by Bostonik on the rebound. Just getting enough of the stick to not allow a shot into the open cage, as Porn didn't know where the rebound went, but was able to recover. Matt, we talked at length about Matthew Elsey at the beginning of the pregame show about his race car mentality right there, sliding out to block that shot. It's why the players love him. Porn makes a save off the draw as he'll hold on for another face-off with 6 minutes even to go here in period number 2.
MJDP backs against the wall right now, but they are massively out shooting the Freeze. 11-6 in this period, 29-14. Overall, well, the story of this game has been Colin Porn making his debut with the FreshCoast Freeze. And you can see that NCDC experience starting to come into play as Heath John tried to backhand it, went through the goal mouth. John feeds it back to Caden Hill, pressured there by Ryan Jacobson, who got it out in the neutral zone. Comes back to John. Yazusinis sends it across. Icing negated. That forces Caden Hill to play the puck. Pressured there by Ronnie Lubers. Landon Graham goes after it. Graham over to Yazusinis. Fires, shot, saved by Porn through a screen. Landon Graham. Backhanded away, Waterman grabs it. Picked up by John. Through the skates of Yazusinis. Now picked up there by the 19 of Lippert. Lippert knocked away by Jacobson. Puck kept in. Nice play by Sean Stevens, who's had himself a good game.
Absolutely. One of his better games of the year. Obviously the goal, but just plays like that have really stood out so far in this one.
Picked up there by the 12 of Kelly, pressured by Stanhope. Kelly's bouncing puck goes wide, picked up by Donald Pratt, pressured there by Logan Eshelman. Kelly feeds it up to Hanna's. Hanna's bouncing puck doesn't go all the way through. And the second chance didn't go all the way through. Puck kept in though by Ryan Mitchell. Kelly now knocked off the puck there by Noah Baderka. Here comes Baderka. Rabone goes after it. Aiden Rabone backhand shot, and Colin Porn covers it up with 4:04 to go here in period number 2.
Great job there by Porn, staying on the angle, swallowing that shot up, allowing his team to come back, get a face-off, reset after a good possession in the offensive zone. So far, a lot that's happened to the Freeze this year. They have good possession in the offensive zone, then on the counterattack back the other way, it seems to wind up in the back of their net quite often. Good job there by the Freeze getting back to stop the counterattack.
I think the FreshCoast Freeze may have found a hidden gem in Colin Porn. Heck of a debut wearing the white, blue, and black of the FreshCoast Freeze. And if you're a new player too, what better way to join a new team than on the beginning of a road trip? The Freeze this is the first of a 6-game road trip. So
right.
Almost a perfect way to bond with your new teammates.
Oh, yeah, you get to hang out with new teammates, and it seems like the guys love him already. Patrick Waterman was giving it to him in the van on the way down here.
Shot there, a save by Parody. Picked up there. Seski sends it over into the corner. Eshelman for Kelly. Bouncing puck, and Parody covers it. Arno Parody, just 16 years old. He won't turn 17 to the end of March.
Yeah, that's real young, especially for a netminder in a premier game. But what that also tells me is he's got a lot of talent. You don't get to this league as a netminder at 16 if you're not talented, especially to an organization like Metro. So he's young, which means he's got a lot of room for growth, and you have to be excited about where it could go for him here.
Metro Jets goaltender coach Randy Wilson very high on young Arno Parody. Benavides chases it down, met there by Caden Hill. Picked up by Caleb Curto. Curto steps up, fires! Doesn't go all the way through. Comes back to Braden Albert. Knocked into the boards by fellow number 11, Lucas Benavides. And now here comes the 23 of Charlotte Huntoon. Huntoon had it knocked away by Daniel Luska. Kept in, though, by the 8 of Heath John. And here comes Luska the other way. Daniel Luska steps up. Sends it across to Benavides. Turns around, fires, pass, save, rebound, and he scores! Lucas Benavides on the rebound has pulled MJDP within one as as Lucas Benavides, the 18-year-old from Miami, Florida, his second goal of the season, and MJDP now trails 3-2.
It's a heck of a job there by staying with it by Benavides. As you know, Porn made a great stop on the first shot. Sometimes as a shooter you get a little down on yourself for not finishing the first one, but he finishes it there. Bad pinch at the line by the Freeze. Jets go 2-on-1 and they make it happen there, paying it off as it's now 3-2. Back to a one-shot game with 2:30 to go in the second period. These next 2:30 are going to be huge for both these teams.
Lucas Benavides was discovered by the Metro Jets at the 2025 LATAM Cup in Coral Springs, Florida. The Amerigo LATAM Cup. That's where Benavides was discovered by the Metro Jets. He is now part of MJDP. And he's been fun to watch, that's for sure. Metro Jets Development Program, second
Puck
goal.
down below the
His
net.
second goal
Battle
of the
for it
season.
comes near side. Jets pick it up. Played back to the point. An opportunity to walk across with the pass. Walking to the shot. Save made. The rebound cleared off the line. What a stick there. As I believe that was Elsie that stopped what would have been a golden opportunity as the play is whistled down on the offsides as that puck just escaped the blue line by a matter of inches. Would have been a great opportunity in front of the net for the Jets. Instead, it'll be a face-off right in front of their bench.
So Lucas Benavides, his second goal of the season from Daniel Luska and Caleb Curto at 17-29, has given new life to MJDP. They trail by 1.
This next minute 48 for both teams. Even the Freeze, you want to get to the locker room up by at least 1. For the Jets, you want to continue that momentum that you've built after the goal.
1:40 to go here in period number 2. Back over to Lubers. Lubers with a shot was blocked. Jacobson turns around and fires, goes wide. Patrick Waterman around the boards. Met there by the 6 of Kevin Pestotnik. Lubers is there, feeds it over to Landon Graham. Graham trying to feed it back to Lubers, but knocked away by Waterman. The captain of the Freeze, Waterman. And the delayed offside. I don't think the Freeze know it just yet, and there it is. Offside the call. $1:07 left here in period number 2.
I was going to say the Freeze kept playing it on.
And that could have been a face-off all the way down in the Freeze zone. Don't want to say they got away with one, but they caught a break.
Yeah. Sometimes you get the break, sometimes you don't, but good job playing through the whistle, though. I mean, you can only play to what you're told by the officials. Puck in the zone.
3-2 score, less than a minute remaining. Shots 33-16 in favor of MJDP. But the Freeze lead on the scoreboard, 3-2. LeBlanc trying to feed it to Gamelin. Back to LeBlanc, knocked away. And comes back to 21 of Sean Stevens. Wraps it around the boards for Emerson Lippert, who got out in the neutral zone. Kobayashi tried to feed it up. Backwards to Stanhope, and here comes Boscovich. 20 seconds left. Wide open, Thomas LeBlanc. LeBlanc knocked off the puck there by Heath John. John 6'3", LeBlanc 5'8". 5 seconds left here in period number 2. And that's going to do it. The horn sounds to end the second period. Shots on goal in the second period. FreshCoast with 8, 2-period total of 16. MJDP with 15, 2-period total of 33. The score at the end of 2 periods of play, the FreshCoast Freeze 3, the Metro Jets Development Program, MJDP 2. Coming up next, DTS Drivetrain Specialist, second period interview. Our second appearance, part 2, by Mount Clemens Figure Skating Club. On ice reporter Sarah Vassar is going to talk to the birthday boy yesterday. Just turned 17 years old from Wheeling, Illinois. The primary assist on the Lucas Benavides goal has pulled MJDP within 1. They trail 3-2. Daniel Luska, now the ripe old age of 17, going to talk to Sarah Vassar.
Thanks, Matt. So, Daniel, You just helped out with that goal there. You had 1 assist so far. How'd you make that happen?
Well, I mean, just rush the puck, move it, get out of our zone, try to force it to the middle. Anything could happen, and it worked out, and they scored.
So little birdie told me it was your birthday yesterday. Happy birthday. How was it? What'd you do?
I basically did schoolwork all day. Pretty boring birthday, but it's all right. Parents sang me happy birthday, so it's all good.
All right. Well, happy birthday and good luck with the rest of the game.
Thank you.
Actually, Sarah, keep him there for a second.
Wait, come back.
Actually, I know how he celebrated his birthday. He yelled profanities at his video game. Ask him that.
Oh, I heard that you were pretty angry at your video games yesterday during your birthday.
Yeah, I was losing, and then I came back. I started getting excited, so.
All right. Well, I hope you do better with those video games later.
Relatable. I understand.
Absolutely. Thank you,
All right,
Sarah.
back up to you guys.
Thank you. We'll take a short break, come back for a second period recap. Start of the third period. The score at the end of 2 periods of play. The Fresh Coast Freeze 3, the Metro Jets Development Program 2. You're watching Metro Jets Hockey live and exclusively on Black Bear TV. And welcome back to Mount Clemens Ice Arena. We're located approximately 30 minutes northeast of Motown, Detroit, in Mount Clemens, Michigan. Game 2 of our doubleheader Friday at the end of 2 periods of play. The score, the Fresh Coast Freeze 3, the Metro Jets Development Program, MJDP 2. My name is Matt Preer, the voice of the Metro Jets Hockey Club upon the flight deck, alongside Black Bear TV broadcast producer Matt Naiman, who's given up the color analyst controls today to the voice of the Fresh Coast Freeze, Aaron Poling, who will soon rejoin us. Tyler Naiman, of course, manning the controls at the camera, while Mount Clemens Figure Skating Club on Ice reporter Sarah Vassar continues to lurk about the building. About the building, yes. Indeed. DTS Drivetrain Specialist, second period recap. For over 40 years, DTS has been the place to go for hardcore drivetrain solutions. Founded and run by performance enthusiasts like our good buddy Claude Plante Jr., DTS is the kind of place you're looking for but can never find. Located in Warren, Michigan, DTS is the place for all the high-performance parts, all the hardware knowledge required to make them work. In hardcore applications, go to drivetrainspecialist.com or call 1-800-521-0628 for more information. Shots on goal in the second period. Fresh Coast Freeze with 8 for a 2-period total of 16, while MJDP with 15 for a 2-period total of 33. And it was the Freeze taking a 2-1 lead in the second period. Emerson Lippert, his second goal of the season, from Logan Eshelman and Sean Stevens. That came at 6:53 to give the Freeze a 2-1 lead. Then it was Sean Stevens' turn to score his third of the season from Patrick Waterman. That came at the 10:27 mark to give the Freeze a 3-1 lead. But then MJDP started their comeback. Lucas Benavides, his second goal of the season, from the birthday boy, Daniel Luska and Caleb Curdo. That came at 17:29 to pull MJDP within 1. They trail 3-2. The Fresh Coast Freeze going to hang out in the Metro Detroit area this weekend. Their next game is right back here at Mount Clemens Ice Arena tomorrow, Saturday, October 11th, as they have a date with the Metro Jets. Vital Title Insurance Agency pregame show at 4 o'clock, face-off at 4:30, as Aaron Poling, the voice of the Fresh Coast Freeze, will be on the call of that game along with Matt Naiman. Yours truly will be heading down to Winchester, Indiana in about 45 minutes for my final motorsports obligation of the season. MJDP's next game will be this coming Wednesday, October 15th, a date with the Fort Wayne Spacemen. The second game of our Wednesday doubleheader coming up on the 15th. The first game of that day will be the Metro Jets Elite, which is actually their home opener against the Fort Wayne Spacemen Elite. Vital Title pregame show at 11:45 a.m., face-off at 12:15. Then immediately following that game, it'll be MJDP in Fort Wayne in USPHL Premier Play. Vital Title pregame show immediately following the Jets Spaceman Elite game. Face-off 15 minutes after warm-ups. And then MJDP after that game on the 15th. There is a showcase thrown in there. Next time MJDP is back home after this coming Wednesday will be the 2025 USPHL Detroit Showcase. As MJDP will go on, although that does come with an asterisk, one of the road games is here at Mount Clemens Ice Arena against the Metro Jets. But otherwise, doing the math in my head, an 11-game road trip for MJDP.
And I thought
after the game on October 15th. Again, one of those road games is here at Mount Clemens Ice Arena.
Right.
Against the Metro Jets.
But that's 10, that's not. And I thought 7 out of 8 on the road was tough for the Freeze coming up.
But in the midst of all that, there's a game at Battle Creek on October 24th. October 29th is the road game here against the Metro Jets. Then 4 games at the USPHL Fort Wayne Showcase, followed by 2 straight weekend trips to Chicago. November 7th, 8th, and 9th against the Chicago Crush at Summit Sports and Ice Complex. And then right back to Summit Ice Sports Complex against the Chicago T-Rex for 3.
3-3, that gets rowdy.
Before coming back here to Mount Clemens Ice Arena for the USPHL Detroit Showcase. After this Wednesday the 15th, Aaron, the next time MJDP plays a home game will be the Detroit Showcase.
And that might even be the road team in their first couple.
And yeah, I mean, the first game of the Showcase, MJDP, is actually the road team against the Columbus Mavericks.
Right. Funny how that works.
Right?
Man, what an event that is. I had so much fun last year. It's a lot of work for us broadcasters, a lot of work for the people around Mount Clemens Ice Arena. Do a fantastic job making all the players feel welcome, making sure they're ready to go. And, heck, last year we even had some technical difficulties, still able to get everything off with the Zamboni that happened day one in the Cincinnati-Kingston game last year. And, boy, what an effort that was.
You called that, didn't you?
I did, yes.
Yeah, I was in the midst of one of my breaks, I believe.
Yeah, great job by the arena. Just get the ice back ready to go and play because there was about 27 games still played on that ice after that.
Third period underway. The Metro Jets Development Program, MJDP, of course, the home team wearing the home blues, the white and red trim. They're skating right to left. On your television screen, the FreshCoast Freeze from the USPHL Premier Great Lakes Division. Play their home games at the Griff's Ice House West in Holland, Michigan, located southwest of Grand Rapids. They are the road team wearing the road whites, the powder blue shoulders, light blue, dark blue, and black, gray, and black trim. They're skating left to right on your Black Bear television dial. Whether it's your Android, your iPhone, your iPad, your laptop, or big screen TV, however and wherever you watch us, we certainly appreciate you tuning in to game two of our Friday doubleheader here at MCIA on the exclusive home of USPHL hockey. That, of course, is Black Bear TV. Daniel Luska being pressured there by the 21 of Sean Stevens, who's had a good game, a goal and assist.
Jake Seski playing with Charlie Huntoon's stick right now as that's Seski's piece of lumber that's laying on the ice.
Chris Kobayashi brings it in. Now to the puck by Seski. Comes back to Boscovich in the neutral zone. Sends it across over to Spencer Stanhope. Stanhope brings it in. Shot saved by Porn. Picked up by LeBlanc. Thomas LeBlanc sends it over into the corner. Kobayashi goes after it. Leaves it for Stanhope with a shot. Doesn't get all the way through. Comes back to Emerson Lippert. Lippert gets it into the MJDP zone. Party will play it there for Stanhope. The 19-year-old from Spring Lake, Michigan. For Chris Kobayashi. Kobayashi pressured by Lippert. LeBlanc sends it back to Stanhope. Stanhope with a shot goes wide of the net. Comes back. LeBlanc the game limit with a shot off the shoulder, off the crossbar. LeBlanc goes after it, sends it over to Boscovich. Boscovich sends it towards the net, sticked away by Porn. Comes back to Gamelin. Gamelin stays in the zone. Shot save. Rebound comes out. Oh, but Durga couldn't pull the trigger.
Good stick there by Porn to clear that to the corner as that was right out in front of the crease.
Boscovich brings it in. Both teams in the midst of a line change. Boscovich steps up. Fires. Save made. Pounced out of the glove of Porn. LeGros with a steal. Jarrett LeGros over to Noah Bederka. Bederka off the boards. Yuzushinis with a shot. Deflect. Looking for a deflection was Rabone. And picked up by John. Knocked away. MJDP continues the press. Here comes Rabone through in. Backhand shot saved by Porn. And he'll hang on with 16:57 to go.
And what a stop that was. Fresh Coast Free scrambling, trying to break out on a 3-on-2 the other way. Couple players collide. Good play in the neutral zone to step up. Turn into a 3-on-2 the other way. Red Bull makes a great move. Gets himself a little mini breakaway. Big save by Porn. Keeping this a one-goal game with 16:57 left to go in the third.
Aiden Rabone, the 18-year-old from Dallas, Texas, played last year with the Atlanta Mad Hatters elite program. Prior to that was a Keller Indian Texas high school hockey ranks. There's high school hockey everywhere. Curto with a deflection as Porn collided with his own teammate, Braden Kelly. Was able to get right back up. Curto now to Ben McLean. McLean leaves it back there for Benavides. Benavides for Caleb Curto. And McLean, who had his stick lifted in the last second. Big hit there by the two of Brendan Hanna as Curto slow to get up. Puck comes back around. Yazusinis couldn't keep it in. Comes back to Lejabokov. Yazusinis sends it in. Picked up there by the two of Hanna's. Leads it for Eshelman. Eshelman now to Kelly. Quick pass to Beckwith. Beckwith trying to skate around Lejabokov. Beckwith looking for somewhere to go. Backhanded, knocked away by McLean. Now he gets the pass, the feed from Benavides, but was knocked away by the 26. Jake Seski. Seski now brings it in. The 18-year-old from Flat Rock, Michigan, former Riverview Gabriel Richard Pioneer. Got it into Yazusinis. Sends it up, looking for Curto. Too far for him, but Curto's going to negate the icing. Pressure there by Seski. Oh, Jacobson collided there with a 23 of Huntoon. And Curto continues the battle, so does Landon Graham. Comes around, Jack Smith will pick it up. The 20-year-old from Angola, Indiana, second year. Trying to feed it up to Matthew Elsie Jr. Went through his skates. Parody wraps it around the boards. Daniel Luska will grab it. Luska pressured there by Zavelking. Alec Fournier is right there. Puck comes around the boards and now off the races. There comes Ryan Jacobson. He's got Blake Brackett to his right elbow. Shot just missed the corner. Elsie feeds it to Zavelking. Goes all the way down. Picked up by Daniel Luska. Luska over to Alex Fournier. Lost it in the skates. Able to regroup and re-grab it. Gets a little bit of help from Landon Graham. Graham now comes back. Elsie knocks it away. Smith with a shot was blocked. Comes back to Luska. Off the boards. Over to Clovis Gamelin. Stretch pass to Blake Brackett, who opened the scoring. Nice defensive play by the 17 of Caden Hill. And Hill grabs it. Pressure by Kobayashi. Turns around over to Jack Smith. Not out. Kept in by Voskovich. Finds up, fires, and Colin Porn covers with 14:09 to go here in period number 3.
So one thing about the 17 and white, Caden Hill, came into this season known well for his defensive positioning, pretty good defensively. Where he's impressed me is he's gotten better each week with the puck. Right there was an example, using the corner to create space, try to get the play ahead. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for the Freeze, ended up in their own zone, but that's big improvement there from 17 and white.
San Jose to Boscovich with a shot, and Korn scoops it up. Colin Porn is really, really, really good at not giving up rebounds.
Absolutely. And for the Jets, though, you want a little more traffic in his face on these shots from the point. So far, Porn's been able to see it. He's been able to make the save on it. So if you can get more traffic, take his eyes away, have a little bit better chance of getting one from the point in.
Going to call Stanhope with a shot was blocked. Sacrificing body there was the 20 of Ryan Murphy. Kobayashi trying to feed it through the skate to Huntoon. Boscovich up to LeBlanc. Tomas LeBlanc sends it in. Picked up there by the 11 of Braden Albert. Fresh Coast has 0 shots in this third period. The next shot by MJDP will be the 40th on Colin Porn.
It's been domination here from MJDP here in the third period.
Brendan Hannas for Charlie Huntoon. Here's Houstonus looking for Kobayashi. Wasn't expecting it. Waterman now feeds it up to Hannas. Brendan Hannas pressured there by Donald Pratt. Two big bodies going at it. Pratt now off the boards, not out, kept in. Shot there by Lippert was deflected wide. Yazusinis sends it over. Looking for Kobayashi. Instead found the 6. I'll give him Pestotnik. Off the side of the net. Waterman wasn't expecting it. LeGros comes back with it. Jarrett LeGros, another graduate of the Jets Elite program. Leaves it for Rabone with a shot. Porn steers it aside. That was shot number 40. Backhand shot was blocked. Picked up by Rabone. Pickpocketed there by the 23 of Charlie Huntoon. And now Luska has to go back in his own zone. Over for Rabone. Aiden Rabone will bring it in. Rabone looking off-angle shot, and Porn has it somewhere in his pads. And not behind the goal mouth.
Referee right there. The Freeze allowed the puck just to sit there and let the official make the call. Awfully kind of them, but if you're pouring, you kind of like to smoothly kind of rotate that skate so you can get it away from the line. But, you know, catch 22, you could do that and also kick it in before the official can make his call.
Shots 7-0 in favor of MJDP in this third period.
I like-
40-16 overall.
I like the sharp angle shot from Rabone just because, you know, we saw one squeak in on the other side, but you could create a rebound opportunity right at the goal mouth with those sharp angle shots.
12:08 to go here in period number 3. MJDP trails 3-2 to the Fresh Coast Freeze. Nice pickpocket by Benavides. Waterman through almost everybody. Gluska feeds it up, looking for Curto. Hopped over his stick. And a penalty coming. First penalty of the game on the Fresh Coast Freeze.
Fresh Coast Freeze come into the weekend leading the division in penalty minutes, something that they were looking to clean up. They've done a pretty good job of it so far today. Patrick Waterman just got a little too aggressive after trying to make that play through the net, got his stick caught up in the skates of a defender trying to go back the other way.
2-minute minor for tripping on Waterman. MJDP goes on the Metro Jets Foundation power play for the first time today. They're 1 for 11, just 9%. They got work to do. Just a single power play goal so far this season. While the Fresh Coast Freeze, pretty good, 83% on the penalty kill. Yazusinis with a shot was blocked.
That's what Ryan Mitchell does well there, blocking shots on the PK.
Oh, breakaway. Jack Smith, one-on-one shot parody with a big save to keep this game at 3-2.
How often do you see it, Matt? The first shot you see after your team peppers the other goalie is a great scoring chance, equal to the task right there. And we saw this in the earlier game if you're watching the Battle Creek game. Good job on the back check not to overcommit and go into your goalie, because if the defender would have crashed into the goalie, put it in the net. We saw that earlier. That is a goal. So heck of an effort to keep that puck out.
Patrick Waterman, a 2-minute minor for tripping at the 8:08 mark of this third period. Puts MJDP in their first Metro Jets Foundation power play. Fresh Coast Freeze
Pucking
penalty.
along the near side,
Number 4,
whistled
Patrick
down
Waterman, a 2-minute
on
minor
the
for tripping.
offside.
Penalty called at 8:08
Face off will
of
come to the
third
near side,
period.
across from the Fresh
That's
Coast
the
bench with
Freeze.
11:18 left to go in the
2
third.
minutes for tripping.
1:27 to go in the Metro power play.
That means the Metro Jets development program go on the Metro Jets Foundation power
This
play.
face off will come across from the Freeze bench. 11:18 to go in the period.
Face off in front of us here in the flight deck. Rabone off the face-off draw win by Noah Baderka. Rabone brings it in. Pressured there by Brendan Hannas. Right now we're trying to get it out. Kept in by Baderka. Over to Blake Brackett. Brackett steps up. Fires off the paddle of the stick of Colin Porn. Seski pressured there by a trio of MJDP players. Just trying to kill time. Freezing it along the board. Brackett digs it out. Lejabokov able to keep it in for Brackett. Lets it go for Rabone. Rabone to Brackett with a shot. Saved by Porn. And he'll hang on with 10:36 to go. Now a little bit of a brouhaha behind goaltender Colin Porn as Matthew Elsey jumps in there along with Blake Brackett. And what Brackett's telling them is, since you guys are going to be in town for today, you need to go to the Golden Greek right across the street.
Yeah, absolutely. It's fun to hear those conversations about the restaurants that these players are going to meet up afterwards and go to.
Right. So Blake Brackett and Matthew Elsey Jr. will head off.
Yeah, the two players that jumped into the scrum late, Seski and I didn't see who the other player was. They were
Waterman, or I'm sorry, it was Brackett and Elsey.
Yeah, they're mixing it up. Seski in there too. Jake Seski got his first fighting major against Toledo in his last time out. Showing a little bit of friskiness there.
Yeah. The referee Grant Lipstaff sorting all the penalties. Only a couple penalties in this game up to that point.
think we're going to play on with what we were 5-on-4, just a couple of players sitting in the box as well, which I agree with that call. I mean, you don't want
coincidental minors.
Yeah, you don't want the game to get out of control, but, you know, if Elsie doesn't jump in, then maybe it's going to be a penalty just to Metro, but, you know, you jump in to protect your teammate.
So a couple of coincidental minors on Matthew Elsie Jr. and Blake Brackett at the 9:25 mark. We'll stay 5-on-4. MJDP stays in the Metro Jets Foundation power play. Here's Houston with a shot up high over the right shoulder of Colin Porn.
Ooh, heads up in the bench.
Yes, indeed. Someone got, well, it was off a helmet. He's fine.
I was going to say Carter Calnon caught that one with his helmet. Pretty similar to how Colin Porn caught a shot earlier in the first period. Almost looked like he was.
Shots 10-1 in favor of MJDP. 43-17 overall. Colin Porn's been the story of this game.
Absolutely.
Luska, the game will turn around, fires, saved by Porn again.
That's an example right there. I mean, you leave a guy, let him walk out to the front of the net wide open, and your goaltender bails you out. It's a great stop by Porn, who just calmly pops back to his feet and gets ready.
You're the coaching staff. You start Colin Porn tomorrow?
Possibly. I mean, Jacob Van Zwieten has earned the right to play a game this weekend, as he's been pretty good for the Freeze the last couple times that he's played. So, I mean, it's a real good problem to have.
Gamelin tried to feed over LeBlanc. FreshCoast Freeze penalty.
Lippert chops it into the zone. He's ridden to the board for his troubles. Back the other way, the Jets. 10 seconds left to go in the man advantage. As here comes Uzinas trying to make a move. Lost the puck. Clearing attempt out in front of the net. Nicely done by John to clear it to the corner and dump it down the ice. Beautifully done by Heath John. 9:50 to go as Waterman's released from the box as the whistle blows.
And we may have a penalty. Or two. Maybe not.
Did not see what happened.
Grant Libstaff is wanting someone off the MJDP bench.
So here, huge opportunity for the Freeze. We call it delay a game. Freeze power play opportunity to go.
That penalty is going to be on Arno Parity. A 2-minute minor for unsportsmanlike conduct.
I thought
Arno Parity is going to get that penalty.
Thought I saw the official mouth the words delay a game, too, along with it. So.
Oh, delay a game. Okay, well, he gave the signal of unsportsmanlike conduct. That was confusion. So that puts Fresh Coast on the power play. MJDP, that's right, okay. Well, yeah, what confused me is Grant Libstaff gave the signal for unsportsmanlike. So we'll get that all situated.
Huntoon walking in on the backhand, trying to wheel it out in front. Cleared away, good stick in the lane by the Jets. Penalty kill.
So the penalty is on goaltender Arno Parity, a 2-minute minor for delay a game, being served by Ronnie Lovers at the 10:16 mark.
Puck moved ahead as Albert can't corral it. Chops it into the zone. Puck available, picked up by the Jets. Dumped to the blue line just off the stick of Postonik and out. He'll play it to the near side. Race to it. Huntoon there. Trying to play to Murphy. He's going to back it up to Huntoon. Cross ice pass to Stevens. He'll dump it in. Make that Albert, excuse me. Jets first to it. They'll wheel it around near side. As that puck is dumped all the way down the ice with 53 seconds left to go in the man advantage. 8:35 confusion as it's nearly turned over. Good hustle by Postonik.
And Parity, and for Parity, that's just, he's 16 years old. That's just a rookie mistake.
Right,
shooting it up, and unfortunately, he tried to clear it. I mean, the idea was there to try to clear.
Right, getting pressured out of the box by Waterman. You don't want to be a goalie turning it over 50 feet from your net. Just trying to make a play.
And the puck goes all the way down into the Fresh Coast zone, picked up by Patrick Waterman. Waterman around Gamelin. Leaves it there for Kelly. Back over to Waterman, knocked away by Ledgerbokoff. Waterman gets it back. Waterman there to Beckwith with a shot. Parity with a save. Beckwith trying to feed it back to Kelly. And both teams back to full strength. And Parody covers it up with 7:37 to go here in period number 3.
Coincidental Miners also released from the box as Elsie and Brackett will take their place on the bench. That's what you love about hockey. 2 minutes ago, they were grabbing each other by the heads.
Yeah.
Now they can just calmly skate back, don't look at each other. Back to work.
And Brackett was telling them, you need to get the chicken noodle soup at Golden Green. It's the best.
I might be getting the chicken noodle soup a try. That sounds delicious.
There you go. Oh, yeah. Yazusian sends it over in the neutral zone.
Penalty coming to the Freeze.
Penalty. And Brennan Zavelking gets a penalty.
Yeah, he's got to be careful. That was very clearly a slash on the hands. You don't want to pick up the extra one trying to argue your case that you don't really have. Even a great defense attorney probably not getting him out of that one. Matt is. In the open ice, your hand comes down on a stick, especially when your stick tape's white on a black glove. It kind of sticks out.
So MJDP now back in the Metro Jets Foundation power play. Yazusian is able to keep it in.
Yeah, that puck's got to get out if you're the Freeze.
Opportunity for MJDP to try to tie this game with 7:10 to go here in period number 3. Gamelin off the boards to Luska. Luska sends it over into the corner for Kobayashi. Kobayashi leaves it there for Gamelin. Over to Luska. Over to Yazusian with a shot. Didn't get all the way through. Kobayashi tried to pull the trigger, couldn't do it.
Good read by the Luska there to get to the puck. Would have been a 2-on-1 for the Freeze if he didn't.
Gamelin pressured there by the 9, Orion Mitchell. Back to Yazusian. Over to Luska. Luska steps up, fires, saved by Porn. And he'll hang on with 6:34 to go here in period number 3.
Better job.
Brendan Zavelking, by the way, 2-minute minor for tripping at 12:32.
Better job there by the Jets, getting traffic to the front of the net. You know, you saw the shot that was blocked down earlier out in front. You know, you get those rebounds that bounce perilously in the slot. It's a good opportunity just to chop and whack at it. You can get yourself one that way. But also out in front, trying to deflect the shot, take the goalie's eyes away. It's a better job there from the Jets getting traffic to the net.
Benavides, Yazusian for the shot, goes wide. McLean battles there with Pastotnik.
Good job by McLean there, now allowing Pastotnik to clear.
Benavides, Yazusian. Paulius Yazusian over to Luska. Luska to Benavides. Benavides fires off the side of the net. 45 seconds left in the power play. Yazusian sends it across. Save made through a screen. Benavides over to Curto. Caleb Curto now to Daniel Luska. Luska back to Curto. Top of the face-off circle. Steps out. Fires. Goes wide. Yazusian picks it up. 20 seconds left in the power play. Wide open. Benavides over to Curto. Scores! Caleb Curto ties the game for MJDP. Caleb Curto, the 17-year-old from Garden City, Michigan. His first career junior goal, and it's a big one. MJDP ties it at 3.
What a better time to score your first. Tic-tac-toe. The puck didn't get out when the Freeze had a chance. Jets make them pay. Beautiful passing play out in front. No chance for Porn on the back door. Man, what a time to get your first goal. We are tied 3-3, 5:49 left to go. Who doesn't love hockey?
And Curto's grandpa, Barry Granger, tuning in. His wife's in the hospital. We wish her well. He's tuning into the game. He just watched his grandson score his first career junior goal, and it comes in the Metro Jets Foundation power play. And what a way for Curto to give himself an early birthday present. His birthday is next Wednesday. He'll turn 18. It's 3-3. MJDP ties it. Big, big goal by Caleb Curto. Deflected over the top of the net.
It's that top line for the Freeze. Eshelman, Beckwith, and Kelly nearly paid off there. Big save there.
Arno Parody has been impressive. He hasn't faced a lot of shots, but he's kept the vulcanized rubber from going behind him.
Right, so the shots he's faced, they've been high-quality shots. And sometimes when you're not really into the flow of a game as a netminder coming off the bench, your first shot you face is a breakaway. It's a real tough task.
Oh, yeah. Caleb Curto from Paulius Yuzushinis and Daniel Luska at 14-12 on the Metro Jets Foundation power play.
Yeah, it was
has tied this game for MJDP.
It's a great find there by Yushinis on the back door. Curto, stick on the ice, ready to go. Had to get it off quickly, did, and that is perfectly executed to tie it at 3.
Paulius Yuzushinis has been a wonderful addition. The 6'2", 185-pound defenseman, just 18 years old, out of Vilnius, Lithuania. Shot there off the post. My goodness. Ribon gets the puck first. Backhand shot, save, rebound, and they score! It's 4-3. Somehow that puck squirted by Colin Porn and Jarrett LeGros with the goal. LeGros, the 20-year-old of Kalamazoo, Michigan, his first goal of the season. And all of a sudden, Aaron Poling, it's 4-3 MJDP.
Off the post on one end. Off the post with so much force, it leads to a break the other way into the offensive zone on the counterattack. They were able to bank it in off of Porn. Not quite sure how it went in. It looked like he had it. Maybe with the blocker, he patted it in himself. But what an effort there by Rabone. Makes it a 4-3 game. Now the Freeze with work to do.
Big power play goal by Caleb Curto, and then Jarrett LeGros makes it 4-3. 2 big goals by MJDP.
Now we talked about a young team having to play with the lead. That's what the Freeze had happen. They lose the lead, and now suddenly they need one to get back into at least a situation where they can get a point. Hannes along the boards, taken there by Kobayashi. Feathered off. Feathered across. Opportunity ahead. Stevens had to catch up to it. Stevens down the right wing, racing after it. Good job by the Jets to get back. Here's Hannes, walks into the circle. Centering pass. Goes through the slot. Nobody home. Played out to neutral ice. Waterman first to it. He'll take a bump. Makes a play to the near side boards. Stevens first to it with time and space. Walks across the red line. Gets into the boards. Jets make a nice play there to keep it alive. They'll walk out. They'll play it across. They'll set up behind the net. Here's the breakout. Opportunity as Murphy stepped up in the neutral zone. Kind of stick to the puck. Good job there by Kobayashi to be able to outstrength Murphy to get it down. As it dumped on net. Porn. He'll leave it for Postonic. Stretch pass this way, tipped in as the Freeze will go for a change. 3:30 left to go in the third period. Wheeled around behind.
Daniel Luska has 3 assists today.
Good play there from Seski, stopping a breakaway.
And picked up by Stanhope. He'll send it in. 3:10 to go. 2 goals. Aaron Poling in a span of 52 seconds has completely shifted this entire game.
Absolutely, just like that.
Intercepted by Benavides. Send it towards the net. Time winding down. 2:50 to go here in period number 3. Puck sent in, picked up by Rabone. Pratt will grab it. And a penalty coming. Caleb Curto with a goal and an assist today. 2-minute minor for tripping on Aiden Rabone.
Rabone's got to be careful. This late into the game, 2:34. It'll be interesting to see if the Freeze decide to pull Porn, try to go 6-on-4 for the power play. Extra player on the ice, but it also allows Metro to shoot at an empty net.
Yes, indeed. It does.
What a fantastic hockey game this has been.
This has been a lot of fun, hasn't it? I'm bummed I'm going to miss tomorrow, man. Puck wrapped around the boards, out in the neutral zone. 2:25 to go here in period number 3.
Nice play defensively. Aseski tried to send it out in front. Good play there to clear from the net mouth. Porn played ahead, deflected. Icing waved off, but this allows the Jets to pick it up, wheel around near side. This will send the Freeze back to center ice. Puck along the boards. Nicely done by Seski to move it to the blue line no further as he stood up by Uzinis. This is dumped back to the neutral ice with 1:15 left to go in the man advantage, 1:45. You have to imagine as Murphy collects this puck, Porn will be on his way to the bench.
Porn taking a look to the bench. Does he come out? Yeah, well, Fresh Coast has got to get possession and control first.
Yeah, we haven't had possession in the offensive zone. It's hard to pull your goalie when the other team has the puck.
And
as there's 6 players on the ice for the Freeze.
Yes, indeed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that is heart-wrenching.
That's going to drive your coaching staff insane.
Kyle Gagnon is not happy.
No, and this is something that in a game last year against the Chicago the Chicago Cougars, they took 3 too many men on the ice penalty, same ice rink where it happened, and it absolutely destroyed their chances in that game. And right now, it kind of takes your chances away of getting a point or trying to get a point. Now you're going to go back to 4-on-4. It'll be 5-on-4 when you pull Porn eventually, but you have to be able to get the puck into the Metro zone.
And MJDP is going to wind up on the Metro Jets Foundation power play at some point here, barring any other penalties. My goodness, a 2-minute minor. 2-minute bench minor, too many players on the ice. Picked up there by Boscovich. Over to Stanhope. Stanhope will send it up for Jacobson. Gets it back. Time winding down as the whistle blows.
There's supposed to be an icing, but the netminder came out to play it. As it's probably going to go back to center ice. And the Freeze bench not happy with that because it took away a chance for them to go in on the forecheck.
Yes, it did.
And it still moves it.
1 minute remaining here in the third period exactly.
And the official apologized to the Freeze bench, but sometimes you don't want to hear the apology in the moment just because it's intense with a minute left to go.
Fresh Coast Freeze penalty, a bench minor for too many men on the ice. Penalty called at 18:34 of the third period. That's a
Freeze in on the forecheck. First to it, Seski pokes it behind the net. Pouring out of the net. Centering attempt goes just wide. Here's Waterman, 42 to go in the game. Jets will get a player back in 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good play there to clear it to the corner as it's a power play now for the Jets.
McLean trying to feed to Rabone. Now they're 2-on-1, 3-on-1 if they hurry. Rabone to Benavides, empty net, scores! Lucas Benavides puts the dagger into the Fresh Coast Freeze. Sorry, Aaron. My goodness. Lucas Benavides. Empty net goal.
It's a
His second of the game, third of the season. And MJDP will put a W in the win column for the first time this season.
That's a great job along the blue line. Good play there by Rabone, I believe, who will get an assist on the goal. Nicely done. Instead of, he could have been selfish, tried to fire towards the goal himself. Instead, finds a teammate. They bury it, put the nail in the coffin, looking for more.
Gamelin cross ice over to Curto, looking for Curto.
Also, power play goal, too, by the way.
And it is a Metro Jets Foundation power play goal.
Special teams coaches love that type of goal with 4 seconds. As played ahead by Smith. Elsie will cross the blue line, fires a shot, glove save made. As that'll do it for us here. 5-3. The Jets come back and take this one over the Fresh Coast Freeze. And what was a fantastic matchup. We told you at the beginning of the game, this is going to be a fun game between the two. It did not disappoint.
Fresh Coast with 3, game total of 19. MJDP with 19, game total of 52. Your Ocean Blue Development 3 stars of the game. Brought to you by Ocean Blue Development out of Tampa, Florida, developing residential real estate aimed at workforce buyers in the great state of Florida, providing investors with attractive risk-adjusted returns by investing in small to mid-sized residential real estate development projects in high-demand markets around the southeast U.S. Number 3 star of the game. 52 shots, 48 saves for the FreshCoast Freeze goaltender number 1, Colin Porn.
Yeah, what a performance by him. Could have been a lot worse on the scoreboard. Kept the Freeze in front. By the way, before we get to the second star, I love to see this. After a hard-fought game, teams coming together.
Number 2 star of the game. 3 assists today for the Metro Jets Development Program, the 93 of Daniel Luska. And your number 1 star of the game. The game-tying goal, as well as 1 assist for the Metro Jets Development Program. The 71 of Caleb Curto is your Ocean Blue Development Player of the game. And he's going to talk to Mount Cummins Figure Skating Club on-ice reporter Sarah Vassar. Look at the smile on that young man's face. His grandpa watching on Black Bear TV. Scored his first career junior goal just a couple days before his 18th birthday. He is your Ocean Blue Development number 1 star of the game, Caleb Curto, standing by with Mount Cummins Figure Skating Club on-ice reporter Sarah Vassar.
Thanks, Matt. So, Caleb, you scored that game-tying goal. What did you see there? How did that play develop?
I just saw one of my teammates open with the puck. Their defense was committing, so I slipped.
Yeah, they warned Sarah now.
So I went down and slipped backdoor. Benavides slipped it to me. Bang, bang play. Got the game-tying goal. It was electric in here, so it was a great play. So, yeah.
So what do you think that you guys did well throughout this game?
I say, like, towards the second period, we fell apart a little bit, but then we picked it up. We started putting more pressure on their defense. They fumbled the puck every time we put pressure on them. They would give it up. So it's just all the pressure that we put on them. I think that's what we did the best today. So, sorry.
Is it your birthday coming up?
Oh, yeah, next week.
Okay, happy birthday.
Thank you.
All right, great job today. Back up to you guys on the flight deck.
Sarah, thank you so much. Gonna miss you tomorrow since I don't get to be here tomorrow, but Aaron Polling's gonna take care of everybody
yeah, that's
tomorrow.
right.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey. What up? Final score, 5-3. MJDP with their first win of the season. And with that win, they actually climbed to second in the USPHL Premier Midwest Division. And they have 7 games in hand on the Fort Wayne Spacemen, who is their next opponent on Wednesday, October 15th, right here at Mount Clemens Ice Arena. Vital Title pregame show will be immediately following the Metro Jets Fort Wayne Spacemen Elite game. Face-off 15 minutes after that. The Fresh Coast Freeze fall to 6-5-1. Still 3 points, still 6th in the USPHL Premier Great Lakes Division. And it doesn't get easier for the Freeze. They got the Metro Jets tomorrow.
Right. Not a lot of time to lick your wounds. 24-hour rule. You're going to be really disappointed you didn't come away with at least a point. But we talked about progress, man. And for the Freeze, it stinks. It stinks. But this is a much better game. They're missing their best defenseman, Austin Helder. He hasn't been playing the last 2 games. And the efforts keep getting better. It just has to click. We talked about with Metro Jets Development Program. Young team had the lead, lost the lead. You have to learn how to salt these away. The Jets hemmed the Freeze into the zone in the third period. They didn't really have many opportunities to score that extending lead goal. We talked about you want to get that second one, give yourself some breathing room just in case something like that happened on the 4th goal. That's kind of where the Freeze are right now. They can learn a lot from this game. I think they're going to be upset with the effort, but it's one of those things that you only hang your head for a little bit because you have a absolute Goliath coming up tomorrow.
Yes, indeed. And, again, I can't say it enough. Colin Porn, wow, what a performance in a losing effort, nevertheless.
Right.
52 shots, 48 saves. Of course, one of the shots being empty net. Doesn't count towards his goals against average. What a performance by Colin Porn.
Absolutely. And if that's his first game with the Freeze, the more he gets comfortable, the more he's going to settle into that position. And it's something the Freeze need. If you can get a goaltender that can he nearly stole the game for the Fresh Coast Freeze, we're being completely honest. Like, you don't win very many games. You give up over 50 shots. Colin Porn nearly stole this thing.
And head coach for MJDP, Jake Howie, decides to pull Cameron Cyrus after the third goal, with MJDP trailing 3-1. Now, granted, Arnold Party didn't face a whole lot of shots, but the 8 shots he faced, he made 8 saves. He'll get the W here today.
Right. As long as you get the job done, it doesn't particularly matter. And for Cyrus, I'm not sure he got pulled for any particular reason other than to try to fire the guys up in front of him. Sometimes coaches use that. And it worked, exactly. And, as a coach, you'll let that young netminder know. But, hey, coming off the bench cold after your team goes down by 2 goals, coming in, shutting the door, heck of a job.
For sure. So tomorrow, appreciate you again, Aaron. You're going to take over for me tomorrow. Metro Jets, Fresh Coast Freeze, right here at Mount Clemens Ice Arena. Vital Title Insurance Agency pregame show at 4 o'clock. Face-off at 4:30. It'll be the voice of the Fresh Coast Freeze, Aaron Poling on the call alongside Matt Naiman. Tyler Naiman on the camera. Sarah Vassar, your on-ice reporter. Final thoughts there, Aaron?
What a game. I mean, there's going to be a couple more this year between these two teams. If they're like this one, buckle in, because that was a lot of fun. And, ultimately what we want fun hockey games, because there's nothing more, that makes your skin, I don't want to say skin, but makes the hair stand up on your skin better than a close hockey game with less than 5 minutes left to go. You're kind of on edge, and, man, that's what makes this sport so great, is just like that. Things can happen and the game gets flipped on its head.
A lot of fun. It was a good day for the Metro Jets Hockey Club. An 8-2 victory over the Battle Creek Colonels earlier today. Then the 5-3 victory by MJDP over the Fresh Coast Freeze. For all of us, the Metro Jets Hockey Club, for Pete Kamick, Justin Kinville, Jamie Lovell, Jake Howie, Danny Vanderweel, Randy Wilson, as well as Paulie Sheridan, Mike Sutt, Joe Muller, Matt McKinder, as well as Dave Ross. Haley Naiman filling in nicely as the head athletic trainer today. The entire Naiman family. Also for Tyler Naiman, our astute cameraman, Mount Clemens Figure Skate Club on-ice reporter Sarah Vassar. For my guest partner in crime today, the voice of the Fresh Coast Freeze, Aaron Poling. And for my brother from another mother, Black Bear TV broadcast producer and normal color analyst Matt Naiman. My name is Matt Preer, saying good afternoon from Mount Clemens Ice Arena. Final score, Game 1, Metro Jets 8, Battle Creek Colonels 2, Game 2, MJDP 5, Fresh Coast Freeze 3. You've been watching Metro Jets Hockey live exclusively on Black Bear TV. Good afternoon, everybody.